The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
2 days away from Jets football. It's a football Friday, and Aaron Glenn spoke yesterday about the plan without AVT. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Jets reporter Nick Faria joins us. Let's hit it and get it started. Joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's a winner.
Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Welcome in, Jet fans. Make sure that you click the thumbs up button and you are subscribed to the channel. We will be live right after Jets Steelers on Sunday. We'll be live after every Jets game all season long for our comprehensive post-game show. Reminder, if you ever missed the show, you can listen in audio form wherever you get your podcast, Apple or Spotify. Just search Jake Asman Show, and it comes right up. Let's say hello in his weekly spot on the program to Jets reporter for JetX and JetsXFactor.com, Nick Faria. Nick, year 3 of you on the beat. Football on Sunday for the New York Jets. Football last night. We know you're a Philadelphia guy. Your thoughts on what you saw as the defending champs? It took a while, but they did find a way to get it done at home against the Cowboys.
Yeah, one of the weirder games we've ever seen to open up the season. You get a ejection 6 seconds into the best defensive player on the field. Offensive fireworks galore in the first half for both teams. Even though they didn't play the starters in the preseason, both teams came out hot offensively. And then a hour and a half long wait to get back onto the football field because of lightning. Purely just absolute chaos, which is, of course, the typical standard for all Eagles-Cowboys games. But I will say there is a Jets tie to what happened yesterday. And let's be quite frank, the blueprint for the Jets is not that much different than what the Philadelphia Eagles want to do this year. They want to be able to run the football effectively, be able to pick their spots in the passing game, and then play good defense. And you look at it and say, well, Philadelphia has all-pro receivers. They've got all-pros all across the board. The offensive line is elite. But the Jets have the tools. They have the blueprint in place to play a very similar style to what the Philadelphia Eagles have been able to do the last few years. And you saw on Thursday, you saw last night that it is capable of producing. You are able to win in this league by being a run-first offense, taking care of the football, and playing good defense. You put all three of those together, and you are going to win a lot more than you lose. Jalen Hurts has not lost a game in his last 15 contests. He hasn't lost a game when he's played the entire contest. And that is because he takes care of the football, picks his spots in the passing game, and just does what he needs to do to win. The blueprint is there for the New York Jets. Thursday's win for Philadelphia is just a latest example of that going into week 1.
I've actually used the comp 2021 Jalen Hurts for Justin Fields, where Hurts clearly is a much more refined passer than he initially was. And the Eagles roster is way better than it was a couple of years ago when they were a 9-8 team and lost in the wild card round. But I think that's kind of the path for the Jets because they have a good defense. They should be well coached, we think. They should have a real kicker on special teams. And we know they have a legit running back room with at least 3 guys that you feel pretty good about. And I just think if Justin Fields could be similar to what Hurts was that year, I think the Jets can be a competitive team. It's a lot of ifs, certainly, but do you think the Jets can try and replicate a lot of what you've seen from the Eagles over the last couple of years? At least it's some version of it going forward.
Absolutely. And it's not just Philadelphia. I mean, you look at 2018 Lamar Jackson, and you look at his numbers specifically in those final 7 games. He was 6-1 as a starter, but his completion percentage was under 60%. So What does that tell you? It tells you that Baltimore played really good defense. They ran the football better than anybody else, and they picked their spots in the passing game. That's what Philly and Baltimore have done now since Lamar and Jalen Hurts have been on the team. That's the blueprint. That's the example. And if the Jets end up being a Walmart version of Philadelphia or Baltimore, they could still rack up plenty of wins. I mean, this is going to be a far more competitive team this year than they were last year. Their defense is a little bit better, especially from a schematic standpoint. They'll be able to stop the run a lot better just because of their scheme. They're going to be able to run the football better because their offensive line is intact for the most part outside of the AVT injury. And I still think Joe Tippmann can still be a very good guard in this league. You know, obviously the drop-off between AVT and Tippmann is significant, but I don't think it's as bad as it has been in previous years when AVT went down in the first place. So I think they're better prepared for this injury. I think they are better prepared for this style of play. And it should put them in a situation where they are actually a tougher matchup against some of these top contenders than many people expect.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Nick Faria is with us. Jets, Steelers coming up on Sunday. The latest odds from FanDuel have the Jets as a 2.5-point underdog going into the game. We'll see if the Jets can win as a slight dog and get their first win in the Aaron Glenn era. Speaking of Aaron Glenn, Nick, let's talk about the comments that he made to you and the rest of the beat reporters yesterday at the Jet facility. Glenn was not scheduled to talk. However, he did come out and quickly address reporters on the AVT injury.
Going on with AVT,
yeah,
right?
just essentially, I mean, good on him.
It's about a 7-month rehab in that situation, so I don't think he'll be out. The thing is, when it comes to who's going to be up as far as the O-line, man, I'm still getting that evaluated. All right, so you guys just bear with me that. I don't want to be issue when it comes to injuries. I want you guys to know that. All right, so listen, it is what it is. Been through this here. All right, he was a big player for us, man. We got to continue to keep rolling. All right.
Thank you. First off, good job by Glenn, at least addressing it. He wasn't scheduled to speak, so it's good to have a coach go out there and do something like that. It builds up a rapport with the reporters, and we as fans appreciate getting an update from the head coach on such an important storyline now with this team. But the end there, Nick, when he says that he's still evaluating what they're going to do, that might technically be true, but I would be very surprised if we don't see Tippmann slide over to the AVT spot on the line at right guard, and then Josh Myers is the center on Sunday. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's the competitive disadvantage of not telling the press exactly what you're going to do. But most people in NFL circles already know what's going to happen. I think we all can guess that Joe Tippmann, because he had a good success last year at guard, he'll be able to step in. You put Josh Myers to center. The drop-off between AVT and Tippmann is a lot less than the drop-off between AVT and Myers. So the idea is you could keep Myers at center, move Tippmann over, and you should be able to form a formidable, at least a competent offensive line that should still be able to run the football and protect the quarterback at a high rate.
Comments, questions, super chats. They always will cut the line. Sean starts us off with a 15-month as maniac super chat. Watching the Eagles got me excited to see our offense on the field. I mean, that was a lot of like what I think Fields could do, especially in that first half when Hurts was just taking off, making plays with his legs. Look, the Eagles obviously have a way better team, but as Nick and I were just talking about, you know, the path for the Jets is to keep the Steelers defense off balance, have long sustained drives. And, you know, obviously Fields has got to be on the money when he does throw, like Hurts has been the last couple of years. But I think there is a blueprint for how the Jets could hopefully replicate a lot of those plays that we saw last night. I think there's no doubt.
Well, I think the other piece to it, of course, Jalen Hurts is a little bit of a different runner than Justin Fields. He's a little more physical. Fields has obviously the speed to get by linebackers and the opposition. So all of that has to be taken into account. I will say the big test from Fields is the one thing we've seen from Jalen Hurts. The Dallas Cowboys essentially forced Philadelphia to make every check down on the planet. They were not going to give up a big play. Nothing beyond 10 yards. If Jalen Hurts wanted to move the ball through the air, he was going to have to dink and dunk his way down the field. And that's precisely what he did. He read the defense, went through his reads. He found an open player. He got rid of the ball. You know, you take away the 3 throwaways that he had during the game, he's actually 19 of 20 passing, and that one other incompletion was a drop by Saquon Barkley. So he was incredibly efficient. Now, the question is, can Justin Fields do that? Young quarterbacks have a tendency to get a little antsy in the pocket, where if the throw isn't there downfield, they try to force it into a spot that isn't there. Jalen Hurts has grown from that. It's one of his big calling cards of why he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League in recent years. Justin Fields is going to have to show that. He's going to have to show that patience, that ability to wait in the pocket, deliver a catchable football, and take a 5-6 yard completion and set up 2nd and 4 or 3rd and 2 or whatever it ends up being, because defenses know he's got a big arm. Defenses know he can move. If they have rush lane integrity, he's going to have to win from the pocket and take what the defense gives you. If he's able to do that, the Jets will be highly successful. If he isn't, then there's going to be a lot of turnovers, and it's really going to put the team behind the 8 ball.
Spencer with a super chat. I appreciate the takes from Nick, but damn, Jake, I would love to hear from my man Beastbreaker this morning. Also, that hat is sick. Spencer, stay tuned, man. We know you love Beastbreaker. Stay tuned. You're in the raffle for 2. You might be saying, what raffle? Ladies and gentlemen, first time we've ever done one of these type of giveaways on the show. A Justin Fields black New York Jets jersey. The alternate, the black jerseys that the Jets wore last year a couple times. We'll give away that version of the jersey to a listener at the end for Justin Fields as we try and manifest a Jet win in Fields' first start with the team on Sunday. So gift the membership or send in a $10 super chat or higher to qualify. And a heads up, our weekly raffle early next week features a signed Namath, signed Weeb Eubank helmet, signed Sauce, signed Kevin Mawai, jersey of champions. Those are the top prizes in our weekly raffle. Nick, as far as this game Sunday, your thoughts on just how big of a blow not having AVT could be for this offensive line, and not even just this game Sunday, but going forward, your thoughts on what it now means for the Jets and what they're trying to be with that unit going forward.
It's a massive hole. Don't let anyone try to tell you any differently. But you have to be able to find a way to move forward after the injury and play good football. And that's why I look, and when I talked about Joe Tippmann, I think he's a better center than he is a guard. Some people will disagree with me. But as a guard, he can be a plus starter. He can be a very good player. So I think, as I said before, the drop-off between AVT and Tippmann is significant, but it's significant in comparing an all-pro player and a borderline Pro Bowler. It's still a good player. It's just not as great as someone can be. So I think that's a distinction there that we have to understand. I still think this offensive line can be very, very good. The other piece of that, I mean, you look at this matchup against Pittsburgh. Are we sure Cameron Hayward's going to play? Are we 100% sure? Because really, quite frankly, we shouldn't be. Didn't practice yesterday. Obviously has been going through a holdout. He's an older player, so he doesn't really need the ramp-up period that others do, but it's still pretty important. So I don't think the Steelers are going to get 100% Cam Hayward in this game, which is huge for the Jets. Absolutely huge. Then you will look and say, okay, well, the matchup is clear. If the Jets are going to win, it is going to be because Armand Membu is competent against TJ Watt. TJ Watt is going to get his. He'll probably get a sack. He'll probably get a couple of run stuffs. But if Armand Membu is able to battle his way through and just sort of get as close to even as possible, the Jets will have a great opportunity to win this game. And it was one of the things we talked to Tanner Engstrand yesterday, and we talked about the matchup. And essentially, he was kind of standoffish if he was going to add extra help to Armand Membu or not. He said that they were very confident in him. All of that, very, very important. They would be foolish not to provide Armand Membu some help in this game against TJ Watt. He's one of the best defensive players in the NFL, in NFL history, a DPOY, one of the better players in this league still to this day, even though he's getting up there in age. Membu, if he can have a big game, if he can shut him down on the sack sheet, that would be a massive, massive statement for the rookie and for the team at large that they have an offensive line that can be one of the best in football. But they have to make sure and be ready to be able to help them. A couple of years ago, Dwayne Brown, I remember this vividly, week 2 against the Cowboys, was essentially begging for help. And I can't remember who it was, but Keith Carr, I believe, was begging Nathaniel Hackett for help against Micah Parsons. And it never came. It was just one-on-one with Micah Parsons the entire game.
I was at that game. It was brutal.
It was an awful game plan, an awful offensive game plan. I would like to think, based on the conversations we've had from Tanner Engstrand, he understands if my rookie tackle is not up to par against an all-pro, that's okay. but let's provide him some help. So I certainly think that there will be help for Membu against TJ Watt, but that's the matchup. If the Jets are able to stop TJ Watt or at least contain him, they should be able to have their way on the ground offensively.
Well, the best way to do that is, to your point, run the hell out of the ball so there's not a ton of opportunities for TJ Watt and obvious pass rushing scenarios to wreck the game. And then when you do have to throw, you got to chip Watt. You got to have multiple blockers, double team them.
Tight end, the chip, the guard. And it is literally, listen, this is one of the best players in the NFL. You throw everything you can at him. And I know Alex Highsmith is really good. I'm not discrediting him as well. But you have to trust that Olu Fashanu is going to be able to hold his own in that particular matchup. Watt is the engine that makes this whole thing go. When he's not on the field, Pittsburgh really suffers on both sides of the ball. You take him out of the game, you put him in a position where he's contained totally, and that entire contest flips.
I know Smith is really good, or Highsmith is really good, but he didn't have a great year last year. He only had 6 sacks. He only played in 11 games. And after he got that big contract after that 2022 season where he had the 14.5 sacks, last 2 years he followed that up with only 7. And then I mentioned it, 6 last year. So some Steelers fans I spoke to this week, a little bit down on him. Let's hope that because they didn't play in the preseason, there's some rust on that side of the ball. I think that's an advantage that if you want to look for a reason why the Jets can win, the style of play that the Jets want to play with, that physical smash mouth brand of football, I think that could translate better early against a team that maybe is not ready to go. And I think the Jets were victims of this last year when they couldn't stop the run week 1 against the Niners. We were all so excited McCaffrey wasn't going to play, and then Jordan Mason just dominated them on the ground. It's like the Jets didn't know how to tackle. So, look, Pittsburgh's a way better coach team than the Jets were a year ago. I understand that, but they could be vulnerable there. Like, I do think there's an opportunity for the Jets to really run the ball effectively tomorrow or Sunday. That's their path to getting this win.
No, 100%. And listen, I'm going to caution everyone, just because they played in the preseason does not mean that they're going to come out firing on all cylinders. You mentioned it on Thursday. The Cowboys and Eagles did not play in the preseason. None of the starters played, and they both put up just absolute bonanza numbers on offense. They didn't.
That's what I'm saying, though. The defense is struggled.
And when you look at it from the perspective of what the Jets should be able to do, most players, and all players in week 1 are out of shape. They're just getting acclimated. The first game of the year, the jitters, everything about it. Everyone's out of shape. Everyone's just sort of survived until week 3. For most coaches that I've talked to, they always look at week 5 as the demarcation point for an NFL season. The first 4 weeks, you try to figure out who you are as a team. You want to stay afloat. You don't want to be 0-4, but you want to just sort of tread water until you really figure out the identity of the team and then move forward like that. I look at the Jets kind of in that way, where a win on Sunday goes a long way to just getting some confidence, but also getting them to where they need to be. So when that week 5 game happens, when that demarcation point happens, they're going to be able to hit the ground running and understand who they are, how they want to win football games, and if it actually is sustainable or not.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. For those of you that tuned in late, first time we're giving away a black jersey on the show, a Jet Justin Fields black jersey. The first person to get the membership today was the Dominican Destroyer Vargas. He enters our raffle at the end of the show for 1. And then a couple special shout outs. Green Gang, the pride of Baltimore, a man who drove hours to attend our meetup for training camp over the summer at Chef Kevin's restaurant. He is in for 5. And then our pal down in Miami, who will be in Tampa for Jets Bucks, Rasta Dread, he gifted 5. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the Aaron Glenn.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Thank you very much to Rasta. And then Spencer Green, he says, hell, I like that jersey. Give me 2 more entries. Also, do I have it correct? Nick's Eagles fan, but as a Jet Beat reporter, what are we doing here? Nick, does he have it correct?
Yes, I haven't really hidden it. And also, I collect a paycheck, buddy. That's essentially what it is. We're all trying to make a living here.
I mean, I don't think fans realize like how many people cover teams that they didn't grow up a fan of.
I'll be quite honest. Almost every single person on the Jets beat probably didn't grow up a Jets fan. I would hypothesize that.
Yeah, you have a lot of people that are from out of town that grew up. Like, think about it. If you're into sports reporting, covering football, you inevitably grew up a fan of a team. That's how you first got into it, you know?
Some of us become diehard fans, and you sort of blend that in all together. But the way that I look at it, my coverage of the Jets has always been based on understanding what wins in the NFL, and just sort of that objective period where I'm going to tell you exactly what I think based on what I think wins in the NFL. And part of that is, yeah, listen, my team is, team I root for just won the Super Bowl. There's a reason why I think people should be doing what Philadelphia is doing and try to copycat that, because the league is a copycat league. Other people don't feel that way. That's perfectly fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent has gifted 5 channel membership. He is in the Asmaniac raffle at the end of the show for 5.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
Yeah.
Nick Shine says Cowboys had 307 yards. Eagles had 302. That's bonanza numbers. Love the show, Jake. Thanks for taking my call.
Well, I think the Nick Shine show needs to understand that they scored within the first 6 possessions. And quite frankly, both offenses were going to do this exact same thing in the second half if they did not have an hour-long wait in the third quarter. So, listen, yeah, the offenses went nuts in the first half. They didn't punt the ball until the second half. I would certainly say that's bonanza. I would certainly say that they scored on 6 possessions.
Well, I'll tell you what, the bettors out there that that went out there and had the over in this game, that is a tough beat. That is a tough beat.
And listen, like, it's hard because you put up, what was it? It was 21-20 at the half. What was the money line on that?
I don't know. The line for the game closed at 8.5. I did bet the Cowboys getting the points.
So I think a lot of people did. But if Philadelphia comes out of the second half, they come out of the third quarter, and they get the fumble recovery, they probably have all momentum. They probably go in for another score because they have that momentum, and it goes away. Dallas completely reshaped their defensive philosophy after that break, and Philadelphia never really adjusted offensively. I looked at that and said, well, would that have happened on that particular drive? Most likely not, because they would probably just try to survive. If for anyone taking the Eagles and that money line, they probably looked at that and said, well, screw that. We just got, we got killed because of the rain delay and all those different things. So everyone got hit last night. It was very unfortunate, and really just a microcosm of how weird that game was.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Nick, I'm going to play you something, and I want your thoughts. So Devontae Adams was a guest on Jordan Schultz and Draymond Green's football podcast. Yes, that's NBA D-bag Draymond Green, dirty player McGee Draymond Green. Let me tell you what my real thoughts on that dude. But anyway, Devontae was a guest, and he told the story about what happened when he was acquired by the Jets last year, and he went to Malachi Corley to try and get the number 17. It was originally reported that Corley asked for $25K. Devontae said, hold on, here's the real story.
I, get to talking to them, and I tell them, boom, I want to wear 17. So I don't want to go there empty-handed, and I'm going to look out for this kid. So I say, hey, man, I see you got 17. How about I give you 17 racks cash for 17? So he responds, and he say, hey, man, it's good to have you. Happy to have you in the squad or whatever, but I need $1 million.
Jesus Christ. Woo!
That was what that boy told me. He said he need $1 million for the number. So I said, I don't know him at this point, so I'm kind of laughing. And I'm thinking like, oh, he's joking clearly. So I'm like, ha ha ha, like it's funny, but like I got to talk to the media tomorrow. They asking me what number I'm with, so I got to get this figured out tonight. Like I heard 14 joking. He said, yeah, I'm dead ass serious, and 14 would look good on you, I think.
You want to know why Malachi Corley is not on the Jets anymore? That sense of entitlement there tells you all you need to know and confirms everything we had been hearing about him for the last, I can't even say 2 seasons. He was on the team for a year in a training camp.
It's not good. None of that is good. None of that is a good sign or good message. Maybe he got in his head a little bit because he saw the coaching staff, how excited they were going into the draft. And it was, no matter what, we're taking Malachi Corley, that day 2 pick, that text chain between Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. And he said, well, the coaching staff wants me. I'm a number 1 receiver. I can be on the field no matter what. I don't really need to do anything. But the NFL has a very unique way of humbling you at every turn. Any quarterback that says, actually, my first season was a breeze, this isn't hard at all of a sudden they get a very big dose of reality. The NFL is fully known for doing that, and it certainly did for Malachi Corley over the last year and a half.
He also apparently didn't think he needed to play special teams, thought he was, above having to do that. Like, dude, you were a 3rd round pick. You weren't a top 10 pick. Just crazy. That's why ultimately it didn't work. And you could see why when he is asking one of the best players in the league, a future Hall of Famer, for $1 million for a number. Like, dude, you're lucky Devontae's willing to give you anything for the number. If you wanted to just say that's my number, guess what? He's going to get the number. He's Devontae Adams. That's just I saw that, and I'm like this is why Malachi Corley is not a Jet. And the Jets, this is a Douglas criticism. This is now the 3rd wide receiver they've drafted with character issues. They need to do. Muji needs to do a better job. Glenn and Muji need to do a better job now going forward vetting these guys. I think Arian Smith is a high character dude. He's put in the work in. He seemingly has really worked on the drop issues in college. It hasn't been a problem to this point since he's been a Jet. But you go back to Denzel Mims, Elijah Moore, Corley, they drafted guys with clear talent. We see the talent, but there's something not there. The character concerns are legit, and they need to do a much better job going forward vetting those things when they're drafting a position that naturally lends itself to have a lot of divas at the wide receiver spot.
Yeah, and I'll say Aaron Glenn did give credit to the previous regime this past training camp to essentially bring in what he call good guys, football guys, high character guys. There are always going to be some apples that you kind of like, what is this guy doing? What's that guy doing? Culture is always predicated on winning. And a great example of it, honestly, is Philadelphia with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is an immature kid. Nolan Smith is an immature kid. These guys, both of them could have been ejected yesterday. Jalen Carter was ejected. Philadelphia's got some characters to that roster, but the fact of the matter is their culture is so strong because they win. The Jets, I believe their culture has been strong for a little bit now. I think Robert Saleh, if there's one thing that I agree with what he did, he built in a nurturing environment that was conducive to bringing people into the locker room and working together to accomplish a certain goal. Problem is, there wasn't any discipline with that, and they didn't actually win. That's the demarcation for Saleh that just wasn't good enough as a head coach this time around. But a lot of these guys are still here. And the Jets, with Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, came in with already talent on the roster, a good locker room presence, and being able to establish themselves with people and players that are just good guys, good people. So that's an important step as well. It's not always perfect, and the perfect kind of and the characters kind of get ignored when you start winning. But that's kind of where the difference is right now. The fact that Aaron Glenn spoke so highly of the culture that was already there and just sort of having a seamless transition of what they need to fix, I think was very telling in that regard.
I think their culture sucked, to be honest with you. I think they have good guys. I think they have good dudes. I don't think there's a lot of bad character guys. I think they tried.
Thing though, that was what they tried to.
It was a country club though. It wasn't. There was no accountability. The guys at the end, they weren't able to think for themselves. It just, I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that's culture. I think they had a bunch of likable, good character dudes. It's just they weren't a team. There was no accountability for making a mistake and correcting it.
Well, that's right. That's where Glenn comes in and sort of says that's the tweak that we're going to have. They built a nurturing environment. They brought in all these nice guys. We're very thankful for that because it makes it easier for us to be able to get these guys to buy in. But we still have to make sure that we are, taking care of that last part. That last part was not done by the Robert Saleh regime, by the Joe Douglas regime. It's now being done here. And that is the biggest difference between what Saleh was doing and what Aaron Glenn is doing. And really, at the end of the day, we can talk about all the positives that Aaron Glenn has. We can talk about the fact that there have been no leaks to this point. Great step. But is that going to be the case if this team loses out of the gate? If they go on a 5-game losing streak, what's going to happen there? That's kind of where I say that pendulum can always swing back and forth when it comes to culture, when it comes to guys buying in and everything like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is raining memberships. The Hamburger has gifted 5 channel memberships. He enters our Justin Fields jersey raffle. Coach James Rodriguez giving us a 10 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. It means it's raining. Gustbuster umbrella. Coach James, we're going to read some memberships. Thanks to everyone who continues to support these daily raffles. Let's see who got some gifted memberships. These are from the Hamburger: Xavier Bradley, Carl Duncan, M. Jubes, Donna, Yeetus Deletus, and Carl Duncan. These are now from Coach James: Daniel Bloom, Big T Charlie, Flex Plexigo, B. Ramos, Michael Estrada, Benji, Johnny Bobani, Gavin McNall, Beast Breaker for Life, and Jeremy Alamadovar. Oh, hold on. I think we got even more memberships raining right now. Ladies and gentlemen, where's this been? Anthony Logerado with a 10 spot of channel memberships. Let me read the names, and we're going to get to your calls. Evan J. Williams, John Hepburn, Lee Van, SoCal Jets, Rye Merck, Ed Vargas, AJ, DeRoyd, Tommy Scuderi, and Michael Granger, all receiving a channel membership. Free super chat a month when you're a channel member, plus the loyalty badges, emoji access, bonus content, and a whole lot more. Let's get to some calls now with Nick as we talk all things Jets. Aaron Glenn saying that they're still working through what the plan will be with the offensive line, but I think most of us, if not all of us, expect it to be Tippmann at right guard, Josh Myers at center. Let's go to the Hamburger, who just gifted 5 memberships. What's up, Hamburger? You start us off today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Football Friday.
We made it.
We did make it, man. Nick, I couldn't agree with you more on watching that Eagles game last night. I sat there and I watched up until the whole shutdown with the lightning and everything. It was time to go to bed. Hey, hold on one second. Here you go, Mark.
Look at this guy. This guy's basically working and giving jet takes. I love this.
Yeah, I can print it. I'll put it out now. All right. Awesome. You're welcome. Very busy, as you can tell.
Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from my office at the GWB.
I love it. Yeah, you are a bridge man.
I am a bridge man. Used to be a tunnel man. Now I'm a bridge man. But yeah, man, I couldn't help but to watch last night and look and say, hey, this is something. This is a platform that we could do. This is the game plan that we could run. But at the same time, I still need to see it. You're right, Nick. He's able to make those short throws, something that I don't think Fields has proven that he can do. So I hopefully this year is a growing experience for him that maybe he can make some of these check down throws and not throw the ball into tight coverage and make the runs when he has to run. And I like what I saw from the Eagles last night. I'm not a fan of the Eagles. I'm not a fan of either team, but watching that game, all I could think about is, can my team look like this? And that's what happens every year. I watch other football games and I'm like, why can't we do that? Why can't we be that team that looks powerful, that looks put together, other than the shenanigans that happened at the start of the game? I mean, that was very Jet-like. But, this is what I hope for on Sunday. I hope that this weekend is good for me with the Mets, that we kick the shit out of Cincinnati, and then we win a football game on Sunday. Because I've had a stressful week with some injuries on the bridge, so I've been bound up with paperwork. So I need a release. I need to feel good. I need to see some winning. I'm tired of losing. So, but it is a happy Football Friday. I wish all of you guys nothing but the best, and hopefully on Sunday, I come on here on Monday and we're all happy and we're all talking about what a great Jet win. But to be determined. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the football season. So. I didn't get your email, Mark. But no,
ladies and gentlemen, hard at work.
Guys.
The Hamburger and this guy behind you. Who is this guy?
Oh, you want these two? Oh, that's Mark. Say hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? Go Jets, Mark.
Hello. You play to win the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a call there from the Hamburger. I love it. You never know what you're going to get on the show, Nick.
Absolutely amazing.
AD with a super chat for us that we're going to get right back to the calls here. Corley trying to get at least one big payday. What a joke. Nick, who will have more penalties this year, Clemens or Mr. Hawk Tua, Jalen Carter?
So I do think it will probably be Clemens, because to say that the rest of the team is pissed off at Carter would be an understatement. You listen to some of the players after the game; they made it very clear that he was not in the right. Carter made it clear he wasn't in the right. I think that he's going to be on his best behavior moving forward.
That is one of the dumbest displays I've ever seen from a professional athlete last night. It really was stunning.
And listen, like, people are like, "Oh, well, Dak Prescott spit first." And I'm like, okay, what is Jalen Carter doing so close to the Cowboys huddle? Number one, I know he always does, but why is he so close there? Number two, he clearly spit on the ground. If he took it as a slight, then you take it as a slight on the field. You go out, you blow up the first run play. You don't do that and then spit. Like, it was just so obvious. It was so dumb. It was so, I don't even know the right word to describe it, but it was just moronic. It was dumb. It showed his immaturity. There was just so many things wrong with the whole situation.
Stephen Craig with a super sticker. He enters the raffle with this. Hey, I still haven't figured out exactly what a super sticker does. That's more a Richie from Jets Media situation there, but we'll take it, Stephen. Thanks for your support. Hold on. My Jet Jam was too low. I had to adjust the volume. All right, a couple super chats here. Snoopy says, it's his freaking number, Jake. Stop it. Was he an a-hole? Yes, but it's still his number. Jets 21, Pitt 3, Sunday for my prediction. How about it's Snoopy trying to defend Malachi Corley? I don't care if it's his number. When Devontae Adams gets acquired, it's called professional sports. There's a hierarchy. There's a pecking order. It's a sign of respect. You've been in the NFL, and at that point, let's remember, Malachi Corley, I think, had one career catch when Devontae was acquired. Stop it. Don't defend him. Devontae wasn't going to take it for nothing. He was going to pay him. You do right by a rook. Devontae's made millions of dollars since he's been a pro. I can't believe we have a Malachi Corley defender out there.
Look, I will say, do I think Corley was put in the best situation last year to succeed? Probably not. I think the coaching staff offensively, schematically, was unimaginative, and it really hurt him because he needed a creative play caller. That being said, we talk about immaturity. That is immature at the top, clear example. You know, you come into the league as a rookie, not as a first rounder, not as a second rounder, but as a third rounder, and you're talking up a big game to one of the greatest receivers of the modern era. You're setting yourself up for failure. And that's what it essentially set himself up for failure. And he can complain all he wants about how he was mistreated and put in a bad situation all he wants. But the best way to get out of that is to have a mental attitude that is positive and moving forward for the team. And he never did that.
Coach James, 5 entries. He's in the raffle. Let's go. I agree with Nick. Every year it's the same thing. You need 5 games in to actually see what we will be for the majority of the season. Sunday and on, we will see the truth. No more opinions or hype. Let's go, Jets. But you could bury yourself early if you don't get off to a decent start. No one's saying you got to start 4-0, but you can't be 0-4. And this feels like a very winnable game. You're at home the first 2 weeks of the year. If you want to avoid 0-2 with 2 road games after that, where probably at best you're hoping that you're 1-3 after all that, you got to find a way to win this game Sunday. And that, beyond just the record, like what it means for the fan base, what it means for the new regime that's here facing the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. This game is they're all big, but week 1, this game Sunday, as big of a season opener for the Jets in a very long time.
Very important. I will say 2-2, 1-3, and you'll be okay. You can recover from that. 0-4, very, very difficult. And I don't think this team's going to go 0-4. I really don't. They've got the blueprint to be successful, and they have the matchups that I think are going to make things very uncomfortable for some of these opposing players and opposing teams. So I think they will be a lot better than people expect this year.
Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Ricky's been a channel member for 15 months. He checks in and says, Stone Smart put Abdul Carter on his ass. Watt is next. Jets football is back, baby. Let's get fired up. See you all in Tampa. I'll tell you what, Ricky, if Stone Smart has a block on TJ Watt, similar to what we saw in the preseason with this hit, you get to co-host the Jake Asman show with me the Monday after the game if the Jets win. All right. So we need that hit and a Jet win, and you could co-host the show with me, Ricky. Sound good?
That's fantastic.
Look, I like Stone Smart. I thought he was definitely more impressive than what I saw from Ruckert. But I do wonder now with them adding Jelani Woods and then, of course, keeping Andrew Beck, who's a fullback / tight end hybrid. What exactly do you think Stone Smart's role is? Is he maybe going to be like way more of just a big wide receiver they line up in the slot when he's out there? What are your thoughts on his role?
He's the second tight end in receiving options, but then probably the third or fourth tight end in blocking options. I think they like his sort of tweener body where he can play in the slot, go up against some corners, be more physical than those players, but then have the speed to get past linebackers and use that matchup to their advantage. You got to remember, this guy was incredibly efficient in his limited time with the Los Angeles Chargers. And I don't think anyone's expecting him to go out there with 500 yards and 6 touchdowns and 40 receptions or anything like that. But he needs to be dependable. He needs to be able to be there and catch the football efficiently and effectively in the 15, 20 reps that he may get and just be consistent. Ruckert never showed that consistency. He can. He showed it with the Chargers. And if he does that, the Jets offense will be very thankful for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, one last super chat for Nick to respond to. Then I'm going to get back to your calls here on a Football Friday. Evan J. Williams with a 50 burger. He's in the Asmaniac raffle for both weekly and the end of the show for this black Justin Fields jersey for 10. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our guy, Evan J.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
His super chat reads, Allen plus Hall are the X factors that elevate Justin Fields in this offense. Bears were top 5 rushing with Fields and Monty in 2021. Nick, your thoughts on his statement here? Do you agree or disagree? And then where do you actually project the Jets to be this year in regards to top rankings for rushing teams?
Yeah, I would be shocked, and I really do mean this. I would be stunned if they are not a top 5 running team in the National Football League this year. They have all the tools necessary to be a top 5 group in this league when it comes to running the football. The offensive line is good. The trio of running backs and the running quarterback, all of that together. That's got to be the expectation to get top 5 in rushing this year. And yeah, Hall and Allen, if they're able to move the ball effectively, if Hall can be a dependable receiving option as well, this offense is going to be hard to stop. And I do believe that the creativity that Tanner Engstrand has from his time in Detroit will only help that mantra.
Comments, questions, super chats. Bo is next. NFL equals new functioning life, meaning grow up or get the F out. Corley couldn't figure that out. That's why he's gone. Now let's play some football. Amen, Bo. Amen. Nick, always a pleasure having you on the show. Looking forward to your appearances next Friday and every Friday going forward. They will be in the afternoon, but because of Labor Day this week, we're moving some things around. So Fireman Ed, who normally will join us at this time, he's going to join me this afternoon. But Football Fridays with Fireman Ed and Nick Faria are official on the channel, and we're looking forward to that all season long. Nick, you're the man. Talk to you soon.
Great to be back, Jake. Talk to you.
Nick Faria, JetsXFactor.com. You can read his work and daily coverage there. We're presented today by my friends at Zip Recruiter. Folks, Zip Recruiter has the best technology to make hiring a great candidate as easy as possible. I understand hiring really eats up your time. It's hard to find the right people. Then you got to track them down, and sometimes you just really want to expedite the entire process. The good news is the future of hiring looks a whole lot easier. That's because ZipRecruiter's newest tools and features, they're here to help you speed up that process and find the right people for your roles, and they're going to save you time. Right now, you can try it all for free. ZipRecruiter for free. That's right. ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter's new innovations. They're going to quickly connect you with qualified candidates in mere minutes, and you'll see who stands out, unlock their contact info instantly, and then ZipRecruiter's got a technology that will allow you to contact them and express your interest right away. 320,000 new resumes are added every month, including some Asmaniac resumes over on ZipRecruiter. So use ZipRecruiter and save time hiring 4 to 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter. They get a quality candidate within the first day. And if you go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio right now, once again, try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. We are accepting raffle entries for our daily raffle and our weekly raffle. And who else but our guy, Bo? If there's one thing we all agree around here is that Bo knows gifted memberships.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too.
Bo knows channel memberships.
Bo gifting to Cranky Yankee, EL, Edible Things, Daniel Meza, Ron G, Rowan Marshall, Miguel Valentine, Dean Paparella, all receiving channel memberships. Thanks to everyone who has supported the channel this morning. Great to see people energized on a football Friday. Let's say hello to our next caller on the Gusbuster hotline. Malcolm Flex is next. What's up, Malcolm?
What's good? What's good? Another beautiful day.
Now, Malcolm, I have to ask, are you wearing pants?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Pants and boots and pants, boots, pretty much. And, I'm shirtless right now, but, it's the morning. It's early.
I'll tell you what, I'd rather you be shirtless than some of the other callers that I've seen calling shirtless on the show. So that's all good.
It is what it is, man. But yeah, it's a beautiful day, man. 2 days away from football. This is amazing. So I've been thinking, I've been mulling over, and I actually think I like, and this is where I disagree with Nick. I actually like Tippmann a little bit more at guard because it's like not now. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, man, Tippmann, he did Simpson. It's not optimal. He subbed in for Simpson, but that's left guard. Left guard, you got to be a little bit more athletic because you're moving on the backside of the formation. Tippmann is known for being a tough, very destructive run blocking center. So he's known for being that spearhead guy. Now you move him to right guard, where all he has to do is have one-on-one matchups against a 3 technique, or to be that guy that's going to get a little bit help on the backside from, let's say, a weaker center, which we know Myers, he's much weaker of a center. Well, okay, now you've got something. You're not getting AVT levels of force and movement, but hey, week 1, you're not going up against Derek Harmon, or let's say, like a Cam Hayward, where they move him kind of closer to the middle. Both of those guys are probably going to, number one, Cam's going to have to stay on the end because they don't have a Harmon, and they're going to probably have Loudermilk flexed in somewhere, or they're going to be playing with their combinations a little bit. So I actually like having Tippmann be that right guard because I think that's going to fit his play style. And I think Myers, when you look at what most centers do, especially nowadays, we can go back to last night, man. You got Cam Jurgens. Cam Jurgens is not known for being strong, but he's known for being a movement guy. I'm not saying Josh Myers is necessarily a movement guy, but Josh Myers is at the very least a little bit more athletic and more positionally sound. And he's got I want to say he's probably a little bit more experienced when it comes to calling protections and helping out in the pass game than a Tippmann, and that might fix your snap issue. So you're going down in center play as far as a power run, but what are we running? We don't know necessarily if we're running inside zone or outside zone, and I'd rather not have to worry about okay, can Tippmann get to the second level, necessarily to stop your linebackers, because I think Patrick Queen's going to be like your fastest guy on that defense. Like,
that's the guy to watch, by the way. John Simpson spoke this week and said everyone's asking about TJ Watt and Highsmith and Hayward, and he's like, I played with 6 in Baltimore. Patrick Queen's number 6. That's the guy to watch.
He's light, like I said, lightning fast. He's going to be on the front edge. So it's like, if you got to get to Patrick Queen in a hurry, I'm taking the faster guy, and I will leave Tippmann, to try his luck, because, Pittsburgh, they run that 3-4. So obviously you're either going to have a 0 shade nose, or you're going to have a nose that's going to line up in a 1, and you're going to have a 3 technique over. Usually if they're under that 3 technique, he might end up being on the backside, which means that, again, all right, so now Tippmann's got to find work. He can help out on that defensive end. If that defensive end is lined up in a 5 or a 4-eye, he can help Membu out a little bit more with that defensive end. But then now you got the edge rusher. So now what that does is Membu now moves out if we're running zone, and he handles TJ Watt on setting the edge and run plays. Now we're talking about pass plays again. Okay, now it's a little bit different.
That's why you got to run the hell out of the ball so you don't have that many scenarios.
But the beauty of this is, and everybody's saying, oh, can Justin Fields do what Jalen Hurts did, which is take the checkdowns? Dude, Inkstrand and Fields literally have said both in interviews, like, hey, this is what the defense is giving us. We're just going to take what the defense gives us. Like, and we saw, again, their most efficient play in the preseason, which, again, mind you, a sample size of like 6 or 7 passes all preseason. But we saw in their successful drive, it was literally just checkdowns. Read here, read there. They're not open. Go. I don't count the Giants game because, again, the Giants defense, a lot of people are going to see that's one of the best defenses that you're going to have. If you watch the all-22 on that, everything was covered. Even on that high snap, even on the high snap with the screen that got blown up, I mean, like, coverage was just amazing. And so there's nothing you can,
but Fields did miss that throw on the slant to Garrett on the third down. Like, that's on him. He was open. He's got to put that on him.
He should have put that to the front. But man, like, these guys are, you know, the defensive backs are sticky. The rush is dangerous. Like, that's probably comparable. And honestly, their secondary might be a little bit better than the retirement home secondary, other than JPJ that Steelers have. So again, it's like, what are we expecting? I'm expecting that we're not gonna have as much of a miss with AVT. I want to bring him back. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that that's inconsequential, because no, that's a very consequential loss. But bring AVT back if you can. But just know that now we need our drafting strategy to be building a more versatile offensive line, because if you bring this guy back, he might get hurt. So you might be running the same play again. So instead, let's start looking at some interior linemen in later rounds that are pretty much able to flex or do this. Or maybe you pull some guys that have that positional flexibility, just kind of going positionless. But yeah,
the only way he's back, Malcolm, is if he's willing to take like a 1 year below market type of prove it deal.
True.
And he's like, look, I know I get a chance to showcase myself in this offense because we know Glenn's going to run the ball. If Fields is the quarterback next year, we'll see. I'm with you. It's a loss, but there are some scouts that will tell you they think Tippmann's a better guard than center anyway. But you are making your O-line weaker now at 2 positions. Like, AVT is a better guard than whatever Tippmann's going to give you. And center, Tippmann, I think, is the better center than Myers. So I don't think the issue is necessarily like this game in particular. I think it's you've already lost a key contributor to that O-line, arguably your best overall lineman.
Yeah.
What are the odds the guys that are now out there, the new 5, are going to stay healthy? So then you're really tapping into your depth, and then we've seen the Jets fall apart when that happens. Hopefully they're better coached and that doesn't happen. Or maybe Rich Samee on his podcast was saying he thinks Darren Muji will trade for a guard because they need some more depth now. So maybe there's a move coming there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to watch how this shakes out, and it's really going to depend on, are we able to just lean on people in the run game the same way that we saw the Eagles do? Like, honestly, if they do what the Eagles do essentially last night, and the Dallas defense isn't the Dallas defense is not made of scrubs. It's not the best. And again, but Odighizuwa, I mean, he's been a mainstay kind of on that interior. Now, their edge play is abysmal. The corpse of Dante Fowler and Sam Williams on the edge. But at the same time, I mean, it's not like it's necessarily a scrub defense interior-wise. And Philly still had a really good run game against them. And, again, Philly's O-line is good. It's upper tier, but I still like the Jets O-line better. So, if you can get a run game going and you can get Justin Fields, who is faster than Jalen Hurts, he's not as much of a power guy, but I mean, do you really want your quarterback being a power runner anyways? So if you can get Justin Fields to run the ball decently, and then you have Braylon Allen, who literally is, honestly, I think he's going to be a next coming of Derrick Henry if we use him right. That's a bold prediction. I think so. And then you have Breece Hall, who's a great change of pace, switch up guy, even though he's the number 1 alpha in that room. Like, I think you have a running game that far exceeds what you can get out of Phillies. Not saying any of them are Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's like taking both of those guys, smushing them into it and cranking all the sliders up. But still, you have a very good run game.
That's a take, Malcolm. Some would even say a hot take.
Now that is a hot take. Damn.
Oh, Malcolm, always appreciate it, man. Well done. Look, if Braylon Allen's anywhere close to Derrick Henry, that's a huge win. I do think Braylon Allen can play. I'm excited to see what this offense looks like. There's just so much unknown. Like, we think we have an idea on what it could look like, but we don't know. That's an advantage hopefully the Jets tap into. Like, Mike Tomlin does, he knows Justin Fields, but it's a completely different offense that Justin Fields is running here. And this is the first time that the Jets are allowing Fields to ever have like his own offense that's built around his skill set. It's always been he's got to learn what the coaches in Chicago wanted him to do. Or Tomlin had a very conservative plan for Fields last year. This is, no, we see your superpower, man. We're going to build an offense around that. We think we can win that way. We think we can get you better as a passer, too. We'll see. Hopefully they're right. I have questions about the passing attack, not even just because of Fields, because I think their receivers besides Garrett aren't good. It's a huge concern of mine. Kick out Jams Joe says, love that Quincy jersey, Jake. We need a huge season from him. That's why I wore it today. I think if the Jets are going to win, two of the biggest factors in the game are going to be Quincy and Sherwood at linebacker, because I think you got to send the house at Rodgers. You got to test him early. He's got to get hit and see if he still wants to stand in there in the pocket and deliver blow after blow. Like we've seen when Rodgers is clean and he was moving against New England, like he still could carve you up. They got to get pressure on him. He was not good against the blitz last year. And I think a guy like Quincy with his speed, remember we saw that against Russell Wilson and the Broncos? They finally blitzed Quincy, helped them close out that game. I want to see that. I want to see an aggressive game plan. I'd be shocked if it's not an aggressive game plan. That's what Aaron Glenn has been preaching all year, or since he's been the Jet coach. Big Loyal enters our raffle for 2. I think Justin Fields could be every bit as good as Jalen Hurts, and I think Tippmann will hold his own at right guard. We're going to be all right. Pending no further injuries, I don't think the O-line is going to be horrible. I just don't know if it's going to be a top 5 unit now. Maybe it's supposed to be top 10. We'll see. We don't know how Membu's going to be. We think he's going to be good, but we don't know for sure. That's a huge question. And there's more pressure now on Membu because he also doesn't have AVT there to help him. Now, people say, Fields, can he be Jalen Hurts? I don't think he's going to be Jalen Hurts, what Hurts has been, say the last 2 years. But go look at Jalen Hurts' first full year starting with the Eagles in 2021. He was 8-7 as a starter, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 3,144 passing yards, and he completed 61% of his passes. I think that is doable from a passing standpoint. And then you factor in, well, Fields obviously is going to give you production as a runner. So on top of those passing numbers, Hurts in 2021 had 784 rushing yards and had 10 rushing touchdowns. So if you combine everything, he threw 16 touchdowns and ran for another 10. So that's 26 total touchdowns. And let's round up from 784 to 800. And let's say 3,100 plus 800. That's, almost 3,900 total yards from your quarterback. I think that in like a best case scenario is doable. I don't think that's crazy. If the coaching is legit, and time will tell. But I think that's kind of my expectations when people ask me all the time, like, what do you think of Fields? Like, what does he have to do? Like, I think if he does that, there's going to be a lot of people who want to bring him back for another year. And, maybe they wouldn't draft a quarterback. It will depend on where they're picking and how they feel. But I think that's doable. I don't think that's crazy. And that Eagles team, by the way, was 9-8. They made the playoffs. Black Gypsy has gifted a channel membership. He's in the raffle for 1. Let's get to more calls. We got some legends on the line. JayQuest is first this segment. What's up, JayQuest?
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Not much.
Are you going Sunday?
I'm not. I'll be home with my family watching the game.
I hope your family enjoys a win with you.
I hope so too. By the way, I love Malcolm. He's gonna tear down the Nets come March. He's a great caller.
I love it. There's a lot of potential there, man. First off, he looks like he could play for the Jets on Sunday now, so we might need him to get out there.
We need him to replace Clemens. Speaking of Clemens, I hope he spits on Rodgers and gets thrown out the first play. Fuck that guy.
Honestly, if it's like addition by subtraction, right?
Yeah. So I haven't watched the whole show because I was busy. But now, did you know you watched the game obviously yesterday? The penalty on the Eagles when the guy kind of flexed over. I feel like we're gonna get fucked on that so bad somehow. We're gonna lose the game because of that. Because that was a ticky-tacky penalty, I thought. What were your thoughts on that penalty overall?
Remind me the penalty.
There was a completion, maybe a 1 yard gain. guy made a tackle, kind of flexed over the player. The Eagles player flexed over.
The unsport. Yeah. Okay. They're emphasizing that this year, and especially early. So you're going to see a lot of those flags. So
I know. I was watching. I'm like, we're gonna get fucked somehow. We're gonna lose the game versus the Patriots because of that. Because we always seem to get fucked every time.
Yeah. Look, I hope not. The good news is they don't play the Patriots till later. The NFL always has like a new thing they're emphasizing, and then you see like an egregious amount of it early. I mean, I don't know. That I thought it was Nolan Smith was the player who got flagged for that. Like,
yeah. What about the other penalty on the safety in the end zone? Targeting, whatever they call that, when he kind of like had nowhere to go.
They always call that because he hit him in the head.
Yeah. I don't know.
It wasn't intentional. He's trying to make a play on the ball.
No, but he has nowhere to go,
that.
kind of. Like, he's trying to stop, but, like, they're going so fast. Like, I don't know. I get the call, and if that was against the Jets, I'd be like, oh, you got to call that. But sometimes they got to put the whistle away. And I'm hoping for a good game Sunday, So let's hope we win. We see Fields do good, some Russian pass touchdowns and shit like that. But who knows, right? We don't know. Everyone's predicting this, that. Let's see what happens week 1,
Yeah, we don't know. Hopefully they surprise us though, because I think a win would go a long way for this fan base. I really believe that.
Hell yeah! All right, Jake. Hey, good luck on Sunday with Tannenbaum. I'll be listening in.
Thanks, JayQuest. Appreciate that. Yep, that's right. First show with Mike T will be on ESPN New York on Sunday. Every Sunday, 8 to noon. So Jet fans driving to Jet Life, put us on. Call in. We're going to take a lot of calls during the show, in addition to all our other featured segments we're doing on the program. Sam checks in. Where are the weapons for Fields? Hurts always had weapons. That's a concern, Sam. It's a legit concern. You have Garrett Wilson. They think Mason Taylor is going to be a good tight end, but he's a rookie. We know Breece Hall obviously is dynamic. We know Braylon Allen can be dynamic. Does anyone have any faith in Lazard or Josh Reynolds? Or I don't. Aaron Glenn is about to speak, so we're going to carry his presser live. But first, let's say hello to Jets Johnny, and then we'll get to the head coach of the NYJ. What's up, Jets Johnny?
Jake, my brother, how you doing today, man?
What's up, my friend? How are you?
Not much, bro. Great to have football back, bro. Even though I'm not a fan of either team, but it was nice.
It was a good game. I made money.
Yeah.
I took Dallas getting 8.5. I just felt like that was too many points for a week 1 division opponent. Like, I don't know. Dallas Philly usually is pretty close.
Yeah, and Dak came back. He was healthy. He was going to put up some
good,
points.
man. Dak is probably, I think Buffalo Jet fan tweeted this. He's probably the most hated on quarterback in the league. I'm not saying he's not in the Mahomes and Burrow, Allen, Lamar class, but Dak is a top 10 to 13 quarterback in football, and he'd be immediately one of the best quarterbacks the Jets have ever had, maybe the best besides Namath. If he was a Jet quarterback, like he's a good player, and he did everything to win that game last night. And CeeDee Lamb couldn't catch anything.
Oh my God, yeah, CeeDee Lamb, bro. He's gonna go home and look in the mirror and pound it, and probably have to buy a new one, because that one bomb that Dak threw to him hit him right in both hands. I can't believe he dropped that, bro. Like, you're supposed to catch that one every single time. But that to me looked like the fix was in, man. Did you see the over under at 44? And
that's crazy.
They go to Rainbow. That's crazy.
Worst beat. So, if you had the over last night, I mean, 5 minutes into the game, you're thinking this is a walk in the park. And why didn't I bet more? It's right. Beat.
And then it just ends right on 44. That was crazy. But yeah, man, it was good to see. My point I wanted to bring up was that, it was Brian Schottenheimer's first game as a head coach, right? And he lost Micah Parsons, and that was his challenge before the season, right? And so he went in trying to establish his identity, and Dallas looked good, right? And granted, they have a great quarterback, like way better than Justin Fields, but it's kind of similar to what we're going into on Sunday, right? You got first-time head coach. We lose AVT. How do you respond to adversity? And even though Dallas didn't win, they look good. They look like a good football team. So that's what I want to see from us on Sunday, win or lose, even though I want to beat the shit out of the Steelers and hand Aaron Rodgers that loss. If we're being realistic, the situation is not the best. So it's how you respond to it. And I just want to see fight, man. I want to see them come out there and bring it to them and look like we have an identity and a plan, and we're running the ball and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Because I can't take another year of this bullshit, bro. I can't take another year of, 6 wins, being mediocre, just hoping to get by. You know what I mean? So I want to see what we look like on Sunday, how we take the field and what the energy's like. But that's really all I got. And the one other thing I wanted to say was who's that guy? Malcolm. I
Malcolm
didn't
Flex.
know. Yeah, I didn't know you had 2 guests per show, man. That guy is awesome, bro. Like,
He played football at Auburn, he said, so he knows his stuff,
okay.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could definitely tell he was great the way he was breaking stuff down. I'm not an X's and O's guy, you know what I mean? But I love the game. I love watching it. I love learning about it. That's why I like tuning into like Dylan T and what's his name, Andrew Fialco and stuff like that when they break down the gameplay. So the way he was talking about it, and then it made sense too, because sometimes guys just talk and they're saying a bunch of words and you don't understand it, but the way he was breaking it down and describing it, it was great, man. So you got to get that guy on more. I don't know as a guest or if he's just a caller, but whatever. That guy's freaking awesome, bro. But hey, let's go with a shirt next time, dog. You making us all look bad, man. So, but anyways, Jake, love you, man. Peace out. Let's go Jets and Sunday. What did he say?
He says Jet Johnny may not be an X's and O's guys, but he's certainly a rhythm and flow guy.
Yeah, me and Dylan are gonna work on a track. So we got something coming out.
Love it. Jet Johnny, everybody, the man. Him and Blitz BK put out a track together. We played on the show last week. Good stuff. All right, Aaron Glenn, I mentioned it. He's speaking for the final time until after the game on Sunday. Let's go live to One Jets Drive and listen in to the head coach of the NYJ. Here's AG.
I say good morning now, right? Good morning. All right, good. Good morning. It's here. It's my guys had a really good week of practice. We want to finish up today by going to the red zone, doing some situational stuff, backed up short yardage goal line, and man, we just start tightening the bolts up, which is good. The players feel good. I feel good. The coaching staff feel good. There's a lot of belief in what we're doing when it comes to the game plan and things like that. So now we're just focusing on the execution part of it, which our guys will show up on Sunday and they'll do a good job. So I'm looking forward to seeing them go out there and play. So any questions?
Do you expect to have everyone available Sunday than at AVT, obviously? Still?
We do for the most part. Right now, I can't say as far as injuries if we have anybody that's on the mend or anything like that. So there's a good chance we'll have everybody there.
Sauce, the fibula was listed.
Yeah.
Was that from that weird collision kind of in the end zone 2 weeks ago?
It was. And that's why I wasn't really worried about it. I knew he'll be ready for week 1 and he's done everything he needs to do to make sure that he's fully healthy. So look forward to him to go out there and battle him.
It wasn't AVT, but when John missed some time on the other side, you guys had the opportunity to mix and match some people on the offensive line.
Yep.
Is that a benefit and a minor silver lining in this for you guys? I know again it's the other side, but does it help you at all? Anytime when it comes to offensive linemen, the one thing that you look for is versatility. At that spot, center that can play guard, tackle that can play guard. Like you hate the fact when it's just a one, position guy, because then it takes away from some of the things you could do as far as moving and matching guys around. That's the one thing that we have here with a number of guys that we have, especially our interior guys. So listen, it was bad that AVT went down. It was, but the thing is we have guys that's on our roster that's able to fill in those spots. So again, it's a terrible injury. Hate that it happens, but man, we're moving forward. Will you give any thought? I don't know. You talk about flexibility.
Yep.
Is John just a left guard, or does he have the ability to kick over? Because I don't know if you'll think at all about Memu's a rookie, John's a veteran, pair those two guys together on the right side, and then kind of have Olu and something.
Again, like I said before, the one thing that we have with our interior guys is they can move around. So we'll make sure we get the right matchup out there.
By any chance, you want to tell us why it started? Just try it. So no.
Have I ever done that?
No.
Nothing's changed. Why would I tell you that? Why would I give another team a competitive advantage on knowing what we're doing? Think about that.
You really like us?
I love you. I love you. I love each and every one of you guys.
What do you think these next 50 hours are going to be like for you, nerve-wise? You going to sleep? What's this going to be like?
Yeah, I'm asleep. I'm going to sleep. I have to sleep. There's going to be a ton of just like the little detail things that I feel like I have to make sure I get myself ready for. And I was always told that the last 4 minutes of the half, the last 4 minutes of the game belongs to the head coach. So what I've been doing a lot of is really looking at that part of the game and start putting myself in the game, and what decisions I will make in that aspect. And I thought it was outstanding. I had a chance to really go through like those 2-minute situations and in the preseason, and being able to understand, how I want to utilize my timeouts and things like that. And I thought the communication that we've had on offense and the way that the offense actually orchestrated was outstanding, because I put those guys, through those situations in practice, and I put myself through those situations in practice. I mean, I thought we worked really well together as a staff, and for the players to understand exactly what I was trying to get. So for the most part, man, that's what I'm doing, from now on until game time.
To put up with that, now that you're 2 days before your first regular season game,
yep.
You've been a player,
yep.
Now coach, head coach now. Is there anything in the time since you've been hired to now that kind of jumps out at you, even through all the prep that you've had over the years, that you were like, man, I didn't anticipate that?
Well, that's a number of things. And as a head coach, and I was always told this too, there's going to be some things that my mentors can't prep me for. Things are just going to happen, and I'm going to have to be able to just make the best decision. I think that's a plus for the organization and for this team. And again, there's a number of things that has happened. And listen, I've been like very happy that I've been hit with those things. So, for example, like the AVT injury, you just can never prepare for those type of things. But man, you have to quickly get the guys on board of understanding. Listen, injuries are a big part of this game. And I've said this to you guys all through OTAs to now. I mean, I've experienced it all last year. And it got me to a point where my mindset is you have to move on. You hate saying that you're going to move on, but you have to. This league's not going to stop for anybody. And again, it's all about the play style instead of the playbook. And our guys understand our play styles. It makes it easier for us.
Have you let yourself imagine what it's going to be like when you run out of tunnel and you're standing there for the anthem? Right?
I haven't, to be honest with you. I haven't. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm just looking forward to getting a chance to go and play. It's regular season now. And I'm looking forward to coaching my ass off on the sideline. I'm looking forward to our players playing their ass off, play in and play out, and understand it's a one-play game, every time they go out. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to feel good. I know that. I
don't think we've asked you about this, but defensive coaches in general.
There you go. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Usually when they receive head coaching opportunities, there's that stereotype that on fourth downs, you're a little more defensive and reserved.
Yeah.
Less aggressive.
Yeah.
You came from a place in Detroit that was not the case.
Yeah, true.
How did that experience in Detroit change you at all? I mean, you were Sean too. Also
that's a really, really good question. And I'll be honest with you. Early in my thought process, I was to a point to where, man, I'm be concerned. Let's punt. Let's go play defense. But now, when you just look at it, and you look at the analytics behind it, it tells you that there's a really good chance that you can make that. So mentally, I am, somewhat aggressive, but I'm also calculated. So it depends on who we're going against. It depends on the situation in the game. But I know this. I'm going to be ready to make a decision. I'm going to make it fast. And whatever that decision is going to be, it's going to be best for our team.
You talk about more adversity, and the AVT injury was kind of the first time you guys have really faced that since you started. How do you think, that type of adversity? Yeah. How do you think, your staff and the players handle that?
Very well, because I've talked to the staff about what happened last year with Detroit. And I think those guys really understand my mindset as far as, listen, don't tell me who we don't got. Don't tell me that. Tell me how we're going to get this next player ready to play, and tell me what's the mindset of that player. Have we been prepping him on this is how we operate?
that, listen, it's our play style. And if we get a group of guys that understand that, we'll be just fine.
The last one, the NFL is made.
He keeps saying last one, but you guys keep asking questions.
I said two. The NFL made sportsmanship point of emphasis this year, and I'm not sure if you saw the game last night, but it came up a couple times last night. Has that been something you've had to express to your team?
You know, that's something that's been an emphasis just across this league, and you saw it for the most part yesterday. I didn't see the whole game, but you hear about it quite a bit. And to me, that's more or less on, guys, let's just play smart, and let's not give a team those opportunities to gain extra yards, what we call hidden yards and things like that. Man, it was tough to see one of the players get kicked out of the game on that incident. But then there was a number of incidents that happened within that game that were more just discipline issues. And usually on the first game, you get a lot of that, you know. So I talked to our guys about that this morning, you know, for the most part, and said, listen, we have to understand how to control our emotions. I don't want our guys to be emotional fists, all right, because it is an emotional game. But, man, let's be smart about how we go about our business. And that's really the difference, you know, in a number of teams, is just understanding exactly, you know, how far to take that.
Thanks, everybody.
So that was the last one?
You want more?
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Glenn at the podium for the final time before his first game. Next time we hear from him, it will be after the Jets play the Steelers Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Look, I'll just say this about Glenn. God, you hope he's the guy, because he sounds like the guy, right? He sounds like the guy that could actually turn this bleep show around. He does. He sounds like the coach that this franchise desperately needs. You hope that he lives up to what he sounds like. He sounds ready. He sounds prepared. He's very relaxed, very laid back. He wasn't combative there. He was having fun. That's a guy that sounds like he has a great game plan and he's ready to see his team execute it. And look, the NFL can humble you. So the Jets have to now prove it, but he sounds like a guy that is ready to be a head coach. I mean, that was a very, I thought, impressive, you know, final presser there. I mean, how could you not, if you're a Jet fan, be rooting for that man? He had other options. He chose this job, called it his dream job. Like, if he can't turn it around, is anyone ever going to do it? The only thing I'm a little concerned with what he said the infamous, we had a good week of practice. How many times have we heard a Jet coach say they had a good week of practice and then the game happens and they look like they never practiced? How many times have we seen that? So that's my only concern with what he said there. But some good news in regards to expecting everyone besides, obviously, AVT to be ready for Sunday. I like what he said about the last 4 minutes of halves and the last 4 minutes of games being about the head coach. I think he's right. I think the head coach, that's where you're making your money a lot of times. You got to make high-pressure decisions. I like what he said about how at first he was conservative. You know, that stereotypical defensive guy, you know, punt, play defense. And after being around Dan Campbell and Sean Payton, he says that mentally I'm aggressive, but he's calculated. And I think there has to be that balance. I think the Jets need to be aggressive this year. They have to steal possessions, right? They can't rest on their laurels of, we'll punt, play defense, because we know once we get the ball back to our offense, we're guaranteed to score. There might be some days where the Jets, their best chance to score might be on that one drive where it's 4th and 3 and you got to go for it. You know? Hey, it's 3rd and 3. Run the tush push twice. See if they can stop it. You can't get 2.5 yards, 3 yards with 2 attempts at it with this team. Like, that's the level of aggressiveness that they're going to need. But how do you not root for Aaron Glenn, right? I mean, does he have the quarterback? Because it's still a quarterback league. Beats Custom Kicks with a super chat. I feel a big win Sunday, Jake. I feel AG is finally the right head coach. It's been years in the making for him. It just feels different this time. So I'm giving away a $75 black gift card for every Jets win. Or BCK. I don't know why I said black. Beats Cut. Wow, every Jet win, we're going to give away a $75 Beats Custom Kicks gift card. Hell yeah. Let's go, Kyle. Austrian Jet fan joins our raffle. Last chance to get in on the show. We have a Justin Fields black jersey that I'm going to raffle away, try and manifest a Jet win on Sunday coming up shortly. So, Kyle, you're in for 2. Austrian Jet fan, you are in for 2. A couple other super chats here. B. Shep writes in, love the Asman spear. Stay strong. Go Jets. B. Shep, it's going to win Sunday, man. Let me tell you, that postgame show is going to be insane if they win. Hamburger, I really hope he's the real deal head coach. He talks the talk, and we'll find out Sunday. Get us some wins, coach. I agree. Glenn sounds like a guy ready. Dominic with a great comment here. Funny how misinformed the greater media is on how AG is mean. Dude is himself and walks the balance of blunt and lighthearted really well. Yeah, the one thing I have always said, it's not an act with Glenn. It's just who he is. He can be combative at times, but he has respect for the people that are there every day asking the questions. I don't think he's going to be like super combative after a brutal loss. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he understands how this market works. He's been here. He understands. He knows. But I agree. I think there's a perception that, oh, Glenn is, he's just an a-hole to everyone. You take some clips out of context. You don't watch as much press conferences as I do, as the diehard Jet fan does. You see that there's way more to him than just maybe some, soundbite that's pulled and discussed. Hit the like button if you haven't. Right now, we have over 400 people watching live, and we have 243 likes. So let's get those likes up. The other thing is, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We are almost at 42,000 subs. This fan base is ready. Give us something Sunday, Jets, please. More calls now. Pork of the Morning will join us. Hello, Pork.
Hey, Jake. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Pork?
I'm really excited, man. Football is back. I enjoyed the game last night. I came home, though, and NBC didn't work in my new place, but I'm here.
It didn't work? NBC's like the easiest channel to get.
In Memphis, for some reason, you can't get it, man. I could get everything else, but...
You try and stream it somewhere? You use, you have a cable login? Just use NBC Sports' app and do it that way.
Well, that's what I'm going to have to do for the season. I really don't want to, you know what I mean? But I got to bite that bullet, you know what I mean? But I'm in the new place, and that's great. But I talked last night on Nick Shine's show, too, about AVT. I'm not really worried about this as much as everybody else is. I mean, he's been down before. And those years when he was down, we played all right. I mean, guys need to step up, and this is where the coaching's got to come in. With Aaron Glenn. Let's see what he's got. You said it before. He has to be the guy. You know what I mean? He's got the swagger. He's got the talk. Now let's see if he could walk the walk. Now this is where the rubber meets the road, man. I'm really, I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Football is back.
That's right. That's right, Pork. Now, Pork. We need the update on your relationship. What is the latest with you? And for those who've been away from the show, Pork revealed that him and his ex-wife, they rekindled the lovin'. Where do things stand?
It's not looking too good.
Really?
Not at this point. She went back to drinking, I'm pretty sure. She hasn't returned my calls or my texts in a few days.
Oh.
It was my stepdaughter's birthday the other day. So I'm sure whatever went on there probably wasn't too good. You know what I mean? In the party standpoint. But, here, let me give you a tour of my new place. Because the old place was just a studio apartment. So let's, of course, this is the office here.
Looks great.
And I'm still in Midtown Memphis. So there we go. I mean, that's a bathroom. There's the Pork's den. That's where the magic happens.
That's where the porking happens?
Yeah.
All right.
This is going to be the dining area, but it's, the staging area for all the boxes right now. And we'll go through the kitchen a bit. I am a pretty good chef. I don't know what we're having this Sunday. Probably maybe some pasta and meatballs, some gravy, something like that. And here's the living room. I don't know if you can see it too well, but I also got this guy here, a robot vac.
That
that's a must-have for a single man in a house, especially with the hardwood floors and whatnot, so I'm really excited. I'm going to have a housewarming party since Pork is most likely single again.
The chat is saying, hey, like, take care of yourself, Pork, do what you got to do. You tried it. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, but you gotta do what you got to do for what's in the best interest of yourself at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely. And on September the 12th, I will have 1 year sober from alcohol. So that's a huge accomplishment for me, because last year, after that debacle against the 49ers, I checked into detox.
Oh no, the Jets caused you to to drink?
Well, I was going to go a day earlier, but I had to watch the Jets game, so I wasn't going to miss the game. So
yeah, I get it.
And I knew in detox, the game would be against the Titans the next week, so I wouldn't miss the game. And strangely enough, I got out on a Thursday when we beat New England. So, but after that, it went downhill. But I went uphill, so I'm doing great. And a lot of it's because of this channel and the guys on it, you know what I mean? And the entertainment I get from it, and the Jets community, really. This is basically what I got. I got the Jets, I got you guys, I got some weights and darts, so, and hopefully some ladies in my future. And hopefully, hopefully a playoff run.
I feel better about you getting ladies than I do about a Jet playoff run, but I hope both happen. I really do.
Yeah, I'm really excited for them. I think we're going to see a lot of Justin Fields running, maybe some broader options, whatnot. But they're going to be tough to stop on the ground. Once that game gets rolling and whatnot, you start giving that ball to Braylon Allen late in the fourth quarter, once they've been chasing Brees around all game. And Fields, that's punishment. That's hard to do.
That's going to get me going if I see that.
You know what I mean? Because I can't, I was a defensive player. And if I have to tackle that big guy, 4, 5, 6 times, that's wear and tear on you. You got to do it too, and it breaks you down. So that should be the game plan. That would be my game plan anyway, but I'm not the coach. So.
Well, Pork, I'll tell you what, great to get you on. Just a couple days out from the season getting underway here. So yeah. We're wishing you the best. I think I got to send you a Jake Asman show pennant for the office there, man. I think it would look good somewhere.
Yeah, right back there. Yeah, or over there, right? Yeah.
I love it. Do me a favor. Shoot me your address so I can get that sent out, all right?
All right, I'll send it right over after this call, man.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our guy, Pork of the Morning.
You get the fuck out.
Hell yeah, Pork. Bo C in the house. AG is smart, composed, doesn't run from the media, makes logical adjustments on the fly, and most importantly, has his team rallying behind him. Jets. It appears so. I say it appears because go back to how we felt about Robert Saleh being hired and year one of him, and he's going to bring this energy and no nonsense approach and fire guys up on the side. And we never saw that. So you don't know. I do think Glenn's much different than Saleh. You can tell. Glenn's not trying to be everyone's friend. And there's going to be real discipline on this team. Let's win games, man. This team won 4 games with Saleh in 2021. That roster stunk. This team has so much more talent. Uno Jet says, Jake, put me in. Jet 17, Steelers 14. Let's go, Jets. You're in the raffle for 2, Uno. Big Fella says, give these raffle entries to Pork of the Morning. Wow. Big Fella, very kind of you. He says, good luck and stay strong, bro. Stay on the right path. You got this. Yeah, give it up for Pork, man. Love that. Next week will be a year sober. Love that. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone wish our guy DT, Dylan Terraman, a safe flight. He's headed to the airport. He'll be in the building Sunday. More calls now. Nate on the bike is next. What's up, Nate?
What's up, Jake? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Happy Football Friday. This is very exciting. Almost didn't want to call though after Malcolm's call. Malcolm is hands down your best caller. He'll probably never win an as Maniac trophy or whatever that March Madness thing is, but he's by far your best caller. You should, if Malcolm did a football jet show twice a day, it would fill a massive void in my life, to be honest. So Malcolm, you should think of that. I know he has a massive following on Twitter. I don't know what type of content he makes, but he uses football terminology that it's like, okay, this is very nice to hear. Pleasantly, and he's got that booming voice. Anyway, enough of
You just like looking at him shirtless. Admit what's really going on here.
Jake, I know you read the comment earlier and you didn't want. All right, I get it. Anyway, we'll go to the football stuff. Actually, JayQuest made a good point about nervous about flags. I was rewatching those New York jokes guys. The New York jokes that do they're tremendous. That do the highlights. They just sound like two Long Island guys, a son and a dad yelling at each other.
Yep.
And that Alan Lazard play came up where I think it was the Colts game. I forget what one possession losing game it was last year. There were so many of them, but he did the finger guns for the first down, like
Denver game. Denver.
Yeah. Denver, yeah.
Yep.
I don't think probably even means more that it was that earlier in the season. Denver game, and we got a flag for that. Like you would never see that in the NFL, especially on a Thursday night game. I think CD Lamb does that every time, or something with the mustache, the arrow going across. So refs are definitely, as you saw in the, it's in every sport. I think NBA is the worst, but you saw it in the in your Yankee series this past weekend with that Red Sox umpire that was pretty terrible, and then called a balk mid. I'm not even a Yankee fan, but that Red Sox kind of got outed that the umpire was seen in Red Sox gear years ago and whatnot. So it happens in every sport. You don't know if someone did someone's kid dirty in fantasy, so he's going to throw a flag on that play. It's just kind of it's the human nature of refereeing in sports, which I kind of like, but it does suck when we're on the bad side of it. All right, I'll do something that probably won't make me popular in the chat because I know everyone or Kate is already I'll go to Jets games when they show me that they're going to win and yada yada yada. Thank you. But if that vivid seats, I know you've seen that number, Jake. What is it, 48% or something that vivid seats is claiming the Steelers are going to kind of dominate MetLife?
Yes.
First of all, if that's true, that's disgusting. So I'm trying to call out Jets fans ahead of time. Well, right, this is the only time, Mets opening day. I don't care if we have the. R.A. Dickey's our ace, and I'm convincing Angel Pagan is a good cleanup hitter. I'm still at opening day. I don't understand why. And we get 8 of these in a calendar year. We get 8 home games, maybe 9, but we're always going to Europe for 1 game. We get 8 home games, and people. And I know Jets fans. As maniacs, Jake, in Australia, California, Virginia, Florida. People come to. I would do anything to pay $100 to go to this game. So I don't understand the sentiment of Jets fans with when Aaron Glenn proved it to me, because we all got up for Rex Ryan when he left the voicemail and he said, I'm not kissing rings. I know Aaron Glenn is much more reserved and doesn't want to say any of that, but I just don't understand the Jets fans, and there's plenty of them in chat that are in the tri-state area that aren't coming to this game, or Ken Macon to go, I'll watch it in my house, and when the Jets are 4-2, maybe I'll think about it. This is the only chance we're close to a division lead right now. We're 0-0. We're undefeated. So come to the game, and it's going to be great weather, hopefully, knock on wood. And let's be a little bit loud. Let's go Steelers fans like, nah, it's not going to be 50-50. And then let's obviously it'd be great to win the game. That would be wonderful to do that. But I'm kind of calling out the Jets fans. If you're in town, tickets are $100. Come to the game. Come to a tailgate Joe. Come to do something.
Nate, I love it, man. I love the passion. I think you're right. I think what we need to remember is just how devastated the fan base has been the last couple of years. They did a lot of damage. This is what I'm talking about. People think I was just saying it. No, this is what I mean when I talked about irreparable damage these last few years have caused. This is what I'm talking about. There's no hype around this team right now. The diehards are going to be there. They're always there. But you got to get the guys who are on the fence to want to go. And unfortunately, with how bad the Jets have been, how demoralizing last year in particular was, and also consider the week 1 opponent. Steelers fans travel well. And if you're a Jet season ticket holder and you could make 3 times your money for 1 game rather than trek out from Long Island and sit in 2.5 hours at least of traffic coming back, which I've done many times growing up. You don't want to do it. So I agree with you, Nate. I'd be very disappointed if it's 48% Steelers fans, but you know, the Jets, unfortunately, have to be better. Like, the fan base has done its part, and they will do its part. If the Jets win, guess what? Week 2 is going to be packed with Jets fans. But they gotta win games. That's really it. Like, I can't kill a Jet season ticket holder for selling their tickets and getting 3 times the money for it. Like the Jets haven't earned the loyalty that they still are getting from their fans. They really haven't. Glenn's trying to change it, and you hope he can, but I see both sides of the argument. Like, obviously, in a perfect world, no matter what, you're there, and I get that. But football's hard to get to, man. MetLife is the worst stadium. It's not like you're getting a great stadium experience. Like, yes, the weather might be nice, so that's not a problem for Sunday, but it's expensive to go to games. It's parking being $50. It's the traffic you sit in on the way home. If you're going to tailgate, there's a cost for that. And you might just want to watch all the games. You might, like, I have 3 TVs in front of me here. Last night I had the U.S. Open, the Yankees, and the football game on last night. Like, I don't love going to games. I do it because I love meeting subscribers and we do events and all that. And, you know, it's cool to be at the big games. Like, I've been at the home opener for the Jets the last 2 years. But it's not a great experience at MetLife. That's a huge problem. If the team was good, we'd deal with it. But, like, going to MetLife, getting out of MetLife, taking 2 train. I live in Manhattan now, so no more Long Island commute, but like taking the train from the city to get to East Rutherford is a pain in the ass. If the team is good, I wouldn't mind, but it's tough. If you're a season ticket holder and like you could get 3 times your money for the tickets, I understand. So it's tough. It's a tricky conundrum. I think if the Jets had a better stadium and they were just a better team, it's not an issue. But this, 40% Steeler fan thing, I think is a direct result of how bad the last couple of years have been in particular, beyond just the 15-year playoff drought we're looking at. Nate, I see you say trains 45 minutes door to door from the, but it's not though, man. I took the train back after the Halloween game. It took me more than 45 minutes, man. And I live further downtown than you do, and it took me way more than 45 minutes. I took the train to the Texans game last year. Maybe it's different, I guess, on a Sunday as opposed to like a Thursday night, but they had extra trains. They knew the Jets were playing. It was over an hour. So, I mean, I see both sides of it. I do. Obviously, I want Jet fans to be there, but I understand why, if you sold your tickets for 3 times the money, I get it. This guy will be there on Sunday. Coach Oglick. Brian, how was the flight?
Flight was awesome. I loved it. It was quick, like a 45-minute train ride. $423 for a game ticket.
$423 you paid?
$1,058 for a hotel room.
Okay.
$376 for a flight. A bargain. I'm here. I'm across the street. My room, the view is of the stadium. I am so excited. Anyone saying $100 or whatever, or a 45-minute train ride, like, arrived from California this morning. I am stoked. I can't wait. I'm even more excited to hit the Yankee game tomorrow and then the Jets game. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you all that'll be out at the tailgate. If y'all are traveling there, be safe. Jake, I will try to listen to your show. I'll get an earpiece in, and I'm happy for you, dude. Congratulations. I don't know if I've said that yet.
Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
Really excited for you. I threw Asmaniac stickers on a whole bunch of my stuff. My wife said, "What is that? What does it mean?" I said, "It's none of your business, lady." So I'm representing.
I love it, man. Look, you bring the energy. I'm glad you're going. I hope all the money you spent is worth it. I hope you have a damn good seat too. If you're traveling all the way from the Bay Area to be in town for this, that's
sitting in club. Oh, I'm in the hotel lobby, but JETS, Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Oglick. Let's go, man. Let's go. Raffle coming up. If you want a Fields jersey in black, Now's your chance to get in. More calls. Jordan's next. Hey, Jordan.
What's up, Jake? You inspired me to put my jersey on this morning when I seen that clean Quincy jersey on.
Let's go, man. We need big gains from Brees. We need a huge game from Quincy. You got to get the win.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about real quick to get your thoughts on it. So Matt was talking on his channel the other day. He was giving his predictions for the season. And he was saying that he only thinks Fields is going to throw for maybe 2,800 yards and only 18 touchdowns. And that he also said that Brees would only have 987 yards on the season. And if he only has that, that's... Sorry, my daughter's crying. And he said that if Brees only has 987 yards on the season, I don't think that's a good thing, especially with how run heavy they're going to be.
Well, how many rushing yards does Braylon Allen and Fields have, though? Brees has almost 1,000.
He said 650, I think he said for Braylon, and around the same for Justin too.
That'd be a really good rushing attack, though, no? Because I think if Brees is giving you almost 1,000 rushing yards, I think he's going to be giving you a lot in the passing game, too. He's going to have a really good – he's having a Pro Bowl year if he does that.
That's true. But I just feel like Brees has to have at least 1,000 yards, at least.
Does he, though? I mean, he's never done it in his career. He should have in 23. They got the math wrong because typical Jets. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I think Brees could have a really good year if, let's say, in total, it's 1,500 all-purpose yards.
Right. Yeah, I'll go for that, too. He said something like that, I believe. But I just feel like Brees needs to show that he's going to be the guy that they're going to commit to, and he's going to be the guy. I know he has the receiving ability, but I want to see more of those big plays that we seen before he got hurt, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look, ultimately, I think when it comes to the rushing attack, I think game by game, it could change. I think there could be some weeks where Fields is their leading rusher. I think Brees could be their leading rusher some weeks. Because remember, Brees is a home run hitter. So what if it's that game where he pops off that 70-plus yard rushing score, right? And that changes the numbers right there. And I think there's going to be games where Braylon Allen is maybe the bell cow back for this team. And what I really would like to see is some creativity where both Brees and Braylon are out there together. Because if it's about playing your best, I think both Brees and Braylon Allen are two of their best offensive players.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that puts so much stress on the defense to defend both guys.
Correct.
And then not only that, you would have to worry about three people because of Justin.
He's a threat every time, man. He's an extra player out there. You have to account for his mobility every play.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But yeah, I just wanted to get your quick thoughts. I got $50 on the game for the Jets to win straight up.
Oh no.
And I'm just hoping for a good solid game from the Jets, Just show that they improved, man, and that they really trying to change things around.
Love it. Jordan, excellent call. Say hi to your daughter for us. Hopefully her crying at the beginning is not a preview of my post-game show on Sunday. Jet fan. More calls here. Home stretch of the show. Adam is next. Hey, Adam.
Hey, are you ready? I'm ready. I'm
Are you
flying
ready?
in on Sunday. So it's going to be flying up, rather, on Sunday. So that's pretty cool.
Love it. Where are you sitting?
I'm just at a pizza place. Manhattan Pizza, fitting, right? Not
Very
the same
nice.
as the real thing, but really good, though, for Maryland, at least. So anyway, I love watching the game yesterday because I think watching the game yesterday is going to give us an idea. We're going to be like Diet Coke Eagles. That's going to be our offense. And I'm really excited to see that. And look, I mean, for those that were able to watch the whole game yesterday, it all came down to execution, right? How many drops did CeeDee Lamb have that could have extended the drive for Dallas, right? They could have won that. How about Jalen Carter not spinning on someone? Michael Clemens taking copious notes. Do not do that. Right.
Well, if you were to bet on which Jet player would do that, I mean, it'd be universal. Everyone would say Clemens.
I know, but exactly. But that's the thing, right? Perfect material for Aaron Glenn to remind people, if you execute against the plan flawlessly, any team can beat any other team. It's about execution. And Aaron Glenn's all about that. So I'm going in still maintaining my idea that we're going to win. I think we're going to be a more disciplined team than the Steelers. When it's all said and done, we're going to win this game. Are we going to be prolific? Not so sure. But when you don't necessarily have all this talent around you the way that, will likely be later on, you got to make the most of what you've got. That's the whole Tanner Engstrand model. Like, put everyone in the best position to be successful. So I'm looking at this thinking this is a good test to see if people have bought into the idea of not making mistakes. If we play a clean game and we lose, at least we know that this is just a talent deficiency and this is a short-term situation. But if we keep making stupid mistakes like we've made for the last 4 years on the field, then that does, make me concerned. Like, are we ever going to learn?
Adam, enjoy the game Sunday, man. Bring the noise.
I will. Keep you posted.
You get the fuck out.
What's funny is when I asked where he's sitting, I meant where's he sitting at the game? But then he told us he's having pizza. Eli caught on to that. He meant where you're sitting for the game. That is true. Either way, we got a bunch of Asmaniacs who are going to be at the game, which is very cool. We're in the noise, baby. All right, more calls. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say hello to a man who will give us an up-close and personal take.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
Hi, Jake.
David T, how we doing?
I'm doing just fine. I'm up in PA visiting family and making rounds and just having a ball so far. And like I said, Sunday, my buddy and I are going over to watch the Jets game. But it's all exciting. I mean, the bits and pieces of information I'm picking up, I had it on, when Nick was on a little bit. I didn't see the game last night, but first game of the year, you don't know what to expect. Jitters and all that kind of stuff. Preseason, they both have a preseason background, but like you guys said last night, they both teams came out firing, and you guys are really analyzing and speculating on things very well. But the bottom line is, once they kick that football off on Sunday, the fun begins.
The fun begins if they win, David. Otherwise, the pain begins, unfortunately.
I'm sorry if it's from my lips to God's ears, but the Jets are going to win. The Jets are going to win.
If you say so, I have to believe in you, David T. I have to believe.
Yes, I truly believe deep in my heart they're going to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, from David T's lips, from David T's eyes, to God's ears.
I got my eye on you, Jay. I hope you like my Jets take. They call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Thank you, David T. That was
Nobody gives a shit.
All right, more calls right now, ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotlines. Where we go next?
He's pointing. Garrett Box, I'm pointing at you. Garrett Box, I point at you. Garrett Box, I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Garrett Box, point at you. I point.
Well, how are you, Jake?
Good afternoon, at least on the East Coast, Gary.
It's still, yeah, you weren't old enough. They used to always be, it's midnight in Texas, 11 p.m. in El Paso, right? But they don't have that anymore. So you never heard that before, right? That commercial that they used to have at exactly midnight?
Never heard it.
Yeah, it's all right. Didn't think so. It was years ago. All right, ignoring all that. Couple of things. Someone mentioned in the comment section, I don't know.
Amanda, she says she's doing worse now that you're on the show.
Yeah,
Any chance you guys could maybe see eye to eye and there won't be such animosity?
I mean, I'm sure we can discuss things, but I she's a loud, rebellious woman. We don't have anything to talk about. She's a feminist. I'm a Christian. We're just not gonna. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any ill will towards her. I hope the best for her. The reason why I say these things is because I want her to get what she wants. Like I said, all polls show that women still want to get married and have kids. Right? Every poll shows that overwhelmingly, 88, 90%. It's overwhelming. I want her to be happy. I want her to have those things. Right. And all of the trends show that people like me get those things. People like her don't. I want her to be happy. I want her to go get a big, handsome hunk and have 5 kids. I want all that for her.
What if she doesn't want 5?
Whatever. Like,
That's
whatever.
a lot. That's a lot of kids.
Like, my dad was one of 5. My mom was one of 4. Right? Like, that wasn't, that was the boomer generation. That was kind of normal. Like, now people have 1 or 2. We just don't have enough people anymore. Like, there's just not enough people. You can, like, the birth rate in South Korea is 0.7. Like, so each couple is having less than 1 kid. It's not just a problem here. It's a problem in a lot of places. Like Italy, for example. The average age in Italy is like 60 now, right? Because nobody had any kids. It's a problem. Feminism destroyed that. It's a major problem. We don't have enough people.
Well, Gary, I got some news for you. You ready?
Yeah.
A little preview of next year's Azzy Awards. Gary's biggest rival, folks. Is it women? Is it fat dudes? Is it NASA? Or is it the gays?
It's feminist. It's feminist. It's feminist. It's it. NASA is its own problem, but feminism is the cause of the other 2 problems too. By the way, it's feminism. It's feminism. It's feminism. Like, you guys can vote. Is this real?
This is real. This is a little preview. I wanted to release an Azzy Award, about a year in advance.
Extraordinary. It's got to be. I'm voting.
This
for
will be the
feminism.
first ever 4-way tie in the history of the Azzies.
It's not a tie to me. Like, the other 3, you could toss up, right? But it's not a tie. Like, you can kind of Rodgers, Elway, Peyton Manning, you can kind of toss them up, right? But Brady's the GOAT, right? It's feminism. Feminism is the Tom Brady of, it's not close. The other ones are great. The other ones need to come down to, but there's a right answer there.
Spencer Green says, let them hate Gary. Here comes the meat munchers. Everyone sit down, pay attention, and listen to greatness.
And learn the isms. The ism saves lives. The ism is for the children. It's like the Wu-Tang. It's for the children. You teach the children the ism, the 3D boxing isms at a young age, and the boys become men, and the women become, and the girls become ladies. It's quite extraordinary. It saves lives. It's for the children.
Adam says, honorable mention for the Azzies of your biggest rival is vegetables.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
How about just salads in general? Specify.
Well, vegetables is better. Plants. Eating plants, because
plants are trying to kill you.
It could be a seafood salad, could be chicken salad, but I assuming we're talking about a traditional salad made of lettuce and other deadly toxins, I would that pisses me off. Alcohol and porn can be honorable mentions too. Those things kind of trigger me too.
Do you think Beast is considered fat, by the way, when you're evaluating fat people?
I think by any metric he'd be fat, right? I don't think that, like, the metrics always aren't great, like, but even if you took a body fat test of him, I'm sure, yeah. Because, like, if you was just like the height and weight charts they give you at your doctor's office, big dudes, like big fella would be fat. He's not fat, right? He's just big. So those aren't good. But like the body fat, any metric you're gonna have, he's gonna be morbidly obese. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can add this. Morbidly obese people should not be allowed to vote either. I know you guys like to give me crap for saying women can't vote. Women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Neither should morbidly obese people. If you're like 40% body fat, no, you can't vote. Absolutely not.
Ladies and gentlemen, for comment on these claims and accusations, we say hello to the Beast.
You got no class, Gary. No class. Ungrateful. You're ungrateful. Calling me fat? I got news for you, Pally. You don't know how powerful my weapons of terror can be. And I can run you right off a cliff so fast that your head will go head first like a railroad spike into the railroad.
You were told, I gave you the advice to stop being fat months ago. I said, just eat fatty meat and drink water. You'll never have to worry about weight ever again. You chose not to do it. You have no self-control, or you don't have the intelligence to execute the plan. I mean, I can't help you. It's a choice.
Your
Being
methods lately
200 pounds.
For my goddamn strength. You have no strength
Being
against me.
200 pounds overweight is a choice.
Right
It's not like having blue eyes.
So
You chose to put yourself in this
I can
condition.
do it against you.
You chose to put yourself in this condition. Why would someone who chose to put themselves in this condition, now my tax dollars is going to have to pay for your diabetes medicine, right? Now you get to vote. You get to vote. It's extraordinary.
You're very shitty.
My tax dollars are already paying you out. Now you get to vote how I spend my tax dollars? Absolutely not. 100% not. No.
Put my life and career. I put my life on the line like you do.
Absolutely not.
I'm twice as extreme, and you are just soft, sucky, and not even hard enough in my league.
You can't control yourself at all. You have zero self-control.
No, that's where you're wrong against me, pal. Against me in a real life, you couldn't lace my boots or carry my bags. You don't know shit about
200 pounds at least. You're 150 pounds overweight. And you can't stop yelling. Every time someone disagrees with you, you get triggered and yell at people. You have absolutely zero self-control.
I have to make it
I've never seen a woman with so little self-control.
No, there's only one man that can do it all. Right here. I've done my
fighting.
I'm fighting on the battlefield. What have you done in the last 30 years?
You were fighting on the battlefield.
And a pink.
I've raised 3 kids. I've raised 3 kids.
You did a hell of a great job. I'll tell you this. There's things that you don't know power about. I got something that you got nothing that you can't control. Remember that.
Any hostility towards this guy.
This is pure fact, kid. In real life, when it comes to 4th down, I get the job done. On 4th down for you, you know how to punt. That's bad.
Hey, Beast, here's what we're going to do. Hey, first time in Rumble history, we're going to try something. All right? It was suggested by a listener in the chat. Eli says, can we give each of them 1 minute uninterrupted? So, Beast, the floor is yours. Defend yourself while you're not fat.
First of all, I am now officially 248 pounds of pure freaking muscle and might. If you don't like what you see, change the goddamn channel. You don't like it here? Get out of here. If you can't stand it, then suck it up. Get your balls intact and get your act together. Learn to be a man. I've done my job. How about you all suck it up and get your acts together? Stop being a bunch of little bitches on your little rag. And no, I don't talk, pal. I do what I do best. It's called I do my fighting in the ring. And unlike any one of you who can't be like Apollo Creed or Drago, you never, ever get to where I'm at. So think about that, Pally. Go to the next caller.
Beast, just because you turned your camera off doesn't mean that we don't know you're still just sitting there in your dark attic. But anyway, Gary, 1 minute uninterrupted. You got to unmute your mic first, though. That would be helpful.
Yes, but you muted my mic. But fair enough. He's you want me to argue that he's overweight? You just got to look at him. He's got 4 chins. He doesn't have a shirt that fits him. He's built like a snowman, right? Look at him. I mean, he's about to have a heart attack. I'm not even trying to make fun of him. I want Beast.
Hey, 1 minute uninterrupted, Beast.
I'm not even mad at him.
1 minute uninterrupted.
He was 248 in the 10th grade. That boy's 248. That boy's 200 pounds overweight. He's
my favorite bit,
plus.
I'll let you finish, Gary. This is not affecting your time here, but my favorite Beast bit is that he can never just type. He has to say it aloud. So he wrote "go to hell." He also said it because he always has to say what he's typing.
No, I mean, look, I'm not. He's obviously overweight. Saying he's overweight is like saying I have graying hair in my beard. It's a self-evident truth. It's obvious. Well, Amanda, stop. Right? Like it's enough. She only comes on to talk to me. It's cute. I'm a happily married man. You can forget it, Amanda. I know you want a man that's gonna put you in your place, and the betas and the simps that you go out with, you're really not attracted to, which is why none of this works out. Which again is why the father or the brother or the man involved in your life should be crucial in helping you pick out a man. Beast isn't this. I don't dislike Beast. I really can't hold any hostility towards him.
Shit, you're a snake in the grass.
No, I did. I got in a lot of fights in high school, but
hey, Beast, put your camera back on. Let's finish this Rumble like men.
I got kicked out of one school for getting into too many fights. Look, see, like, what do you think giving me like an evil eye is going to do to me? Like, what do you think it's going to do to me?
I think you're going to get the message loud and clear. Get it clear. Think about this. You don't want none of this. I don't think you want a piece of the lion, kid. Because I can run right through you all night long, just like Flair, just like Gene Kaniski, just like any of the old AWA or NWA stars. You cannot beat me on your best day. And you know what? You couldn't pluck the hairs from my ass because you'll never get it done. Take it.
I don't want to pluck the hairs from your ass piece. I'm actually good with that.
Bullshit. You know what? I'm going to take a good line from Parkman. I am not a meatball. You ain't got enough hair on your ass to do what I've done for the last 30 years. I got gas right now.
What have you done for the last 30 years? Let us know.
Baseball, football, basketball, field hockey. Been through it all. Have had injuries that are far worse than anything. Let's see. Blown up both knees. Fingers busted. Still played. Still took it hard. Broke thumb. Got a red belt in karate. Already done what I've wanted to do. Traveled. Got a chance to see some of the greats. Been to TSO 10 different times. I already done everything else I've wanted to do.
Nobody gives a shit.
Hey, well, you better give a shit because I've done my job. I am not a meatball. Enough of the shit already. Come Sunday, you can bet your ass. We're gonna come kill the Steelers.
I'm a
One way or
Jets
the
fan.
other.
I'm rooting for the Jets. I actually called in to talk about Justin Fields and how I think he can have
Well,
an
thank you
extraordinary
thank you very much. There. I know where the nearby exit is. I'm going to go do something called put some ice on the rib, and then go to the store and go get some canned tomatoes. Because on Sunday I'm cooking.
Peace, thank you. Gary, continue your point on Justin Fields.
Gator's coming after me. My nose has been broken more than Jake's drop button. I mean, is that necessary? Why we got to talk about it? My nose has been busted up, and I think
he makes a salient point.
It's fair. It's been busted up a lot, but it's a good thing, right? And that's my point, right? Women like scars. They like a busted nose because it shows them that they tried to kill me and couldn't. I keep coming back. Men don't like scars on women, right? Because women are supposed to be soft and feminine. But I actually wanted to. I actually wanted to. Can I talk about Justin Fields?
I said go talk about Fields.
First thing I want to say was someone in the chat a long time ago now, before we totally went astray, suggested that what's his name? The guy with one eye. I told my brain should start his own shaving YouTube channel. I think he should.
The guy with one eye, David T has two eyes.
David
He doesn't have one eye.
No, I know, but okay. You see, but you instantly knew what I was talking about. David T should start his own YouTube channel.
He holds the phone very close to his face, but he has two functioning eyes.
Understood, but you understood what I was saying. But you instantly knew who I was talking about. David T. Sorry about that. I totally
because the theme song has "I Got My Eye on You." That's why I knew. I figured it was
so
him.
you knew exactly. Indeed, you knew exactly what I was talking about. He should start his own shaving channel. I think Bobby and Charles could get something from that, right? Like I had to patch a hole in the wall. My kids put a hole in the wall the other day, and it was big. And I had to go on YouTube and figure out he could help. Is what I'm saying. Like he could do an educational video on how to shave. I thought that was a good idea. Also, the football season got off to an extravagant start, an extraordinary start. Yes, they didn't. Anytime the Cowboy loses, isn't your day just a little bit better after the Cowboys?
I don't hate the Cowboys. They don't bother me that much. They beat the Giants. I bet the Cowboys to cover the 8.5. So they did their job last night. I like Brian Schottenheimer. I got a chance to talk to him at the Combine 2 years ago. I got love for Shotty for the Jet career he had. So I have no issues with the current Cowboys right now.
No, I agree.
I don't like them, but I don't hate them.
Put Spencer Green's $2 super chat on the screen.
What are you, beast making demands here? Gary, I low-key think Amanda wants you, man.
It's so obvious. But it's not going to happen because, like I said, I'm a happily married man. But the simps and the beta males that are out there, I mean, what's not to want? Obviously, right?
The head trauma tracks for you, she says.
That's fine. That's fine. Like I'm doing fine. I'm working through it. I'm doing fine. It's a setback, but I'm working through it. It's quite obvious. And this is why the man should be involved in picking the woman's man. She should have a brother or a father or some male figure who could help her pick out a man, so she wouldn't be in this situation.
You done?
Can we talk about Justin Fields?
I've given you enough time to talk about Justin Fields. We've been talking about Justin Fields for months. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary.
All right.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
I gave you a chance to talk about Justin Fields, and you said David T had one eye. Come on. Beach Custom Kicks. How can anyone not want Gary and his cornrows? Dylan says, I'm supposed to be driving, but Gary brings it out of me. Love him or hate him, you watch. That's the thing. I see, for all you saying, oh, too much Beast, too much Gary, I check the numbers. I see in real time if there's a drop-off with certain callers. I know. So you guys got to remember this, right? I'm not I guess my full-time job the last 2 years has become a Jet YouTuber, right? But like I've been a radio guy my whole life. I grew up on Stern. I grew up on Mike and the Mad Dog. I grew up on old school Joe and Evan and K-Show, Boomer. Like I'm a radio guy, man. So I live for this stuff. And love him or hate him, you watch Gary. You watch Neil. You all the people that people love to hate on in the chat. Rob, you all stay and watch it. The viewership never drops. Trust me. More calls right now.
He's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his bell is on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. He's a big fella, sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. That's a big fella.
Have you thought about unmuting yourself? There you go.
Oh, all right.
Hey, big fella.
Hey, what's up, man? My fantasy season got off to a bad start yesterday. I have Philly's defense.
I got off to a great start, and I had no one playing. You know who I went against, though?
Who'd you go against?
A.J. Brown.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Nice. That's awesome.
I went from being projected to lose the week to now being projected to win the week.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, my first play of the game, Jalen Carter spit down back, and I'm just like, fuck, bro. there goes this week. But is Beast on?
He's not currently on, but you know he's out there.
All right, because I got a bone to pick with him because he lied, bro, and I don't like that lying shit.
Now, for those who missed it, explain what he lied about.
All right, yesterday he went off on you for no reason. All right, people were just busting balls and everything, and he freaked out. And I told him, I said, "You better apologize, man, because you shouldn't be talking to Jake like that. You know, it's his show. You got to show respect. You don't do that shit." And I told him that he should apologize. And then he said he would. And then I asked him earlier in the chat, "Did you apologize?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did it in private." And then you said that he didn't. So
that is correct. Would you like to see what he sent me, though, after the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this was sent at 5:31 p.m. yesterday. That's 18 hours ago. It is very coherent. We obviously will understand every point that is attempting to be made here. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at your screen. Beast wrote to me, "Bro, you know I am the Terminator, and yet you got me very pissed off with the nonsense. You unleashed the animal out of me, and I'm not nonsense. Maybe it's you thinking it's funny to insult an autistic person." He always plays that card when it's convenient, as everyone knows. Well, now I see the big picture. You want to be an asshole towards me. Fine. I've had it up to here with the Harry Potter. If you want to bend him over, you could do that, bleep. But me, my eyes are on something else. You don't know the pain I go through, son. You're making a big mistake.
Man. Wow.
And then I followed up. I go, "Great job today."
Dude, that Beast, just so you know, bro, that's not an apology. So, you did write something, which is true, but that is definitely not an apology, man. And you got to show respect. You know, everybody busts balls. I get my balls busted. Everybody gets their balls busted on this show, and you just got to deal with it. The Harry Potter shit, it would go away if you would just embrace it a little bit.
It wasn't even about him yesterday, too. It was literally about a Steelers reporter compared Rodgers versus Glenn to the Voldemort from Harry Potter. Like, literally,
I know.
It wasn't even related to him.
Which is crazy because it's like that's what we've been talking about for the past few months, and all of a sudden a reporter says that stuff. That that's too coincidental. You know, that's wild.
This was the follow-up email, by the way, big fellow. I think you'll like this.
Okay.
No more. Enough is enough. I have lots of fight in my life. You don't know how personal I could fight. I have a red belt in martial arts. I was trained very well by the best. I had personal problems that need to be settled, and don't get involved. This is my fight. I go alone. Clear now. No more Harry Potter nonsense. I will have dangerous alliance ready if it continues.
Oh my God, bro. This guy's gold to you, man. He really is. He's gold. But yeah, I mean, we gotta
Abracadabra.
Is he on?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, I would have told him I don't appreciate lying, but you know, it is what it is. I'll continue my work as his therapist, or I'll try to.
We have more work to do, but I him and Gary had a great rumble. We got to give it up to both
That's
of them.
true.
They really got after it.
You're right. No, they did have a great rumble, but you know, I hear the same stuff every day. Oh, everything sucks. Blah blah. Oh, the pain. You know, he says the pain more than Joe Beningo does, bro. But you know, looks like I got more work to do. And that's all I got, really. I think the Jets are going to win on Sunday.
Hey, here was a message that B sent to Gator on Instagram.
Okay.
He wrote in, "Now you saw me unleashed." And then today he goes, "Am I nuts or just insane?"
Well, could be
also,
two things could be the same.
Don't you love how Beast's Instagram photo is just a giant pie of pizza?
I am not a meatball. Oh my God, he's a pizza. So, I don't know, bro. But like I said, Jets are winning on Sunday. And great show as always.
Big fella, you're the man. Let's get that dub on Sunday. There's no doubt. Super chat here from Matthias, who says, "Enough of the Harry Potter nonsense." Amen. Enough.
Abracadoodle.
Beast disrespected me and never apologized. Big fella, spot on. Yeti with a super chat. I'm putting the names together for the raffle, so truly last chance here. I love this community. Beast doesn't realize I'm always going to try and help him. Gary's Gary. I'm a 90s hippie. I shouldn't like either, but I do. I mean, at the end of the day, this community is all about our common love of a football team that tortures us. So if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And the Asmaniac community is one of one. Robin says, "Did you get my membership?" You need one more super chat, Robin. It's $10 minimum. Appreciate your support. And he's taking Team Beast in the match. At least he isn't judgmental. Know-it-all buffoon. Is Gary a know-it-all buffoon? PBM calling out Beast for mocking the lineage of red belts. He says red belts are only given to men who have trained like 60 to 70 years. It's a 9th degree black belt. Only 22 exist in the world. I do not like this mockery of the lineage. Spencer Green says, "Beast, stop being a coward and send us to raffle." I'll tell you what, if Beast calls in and wants to send us to the raffle, he can. Now, Nate is on the bike. Nate, did you have another point, or you're just riding around listening to the show that way?
Just going home. I didn't close the app.
Nate?
But yeah, no, it's been scintillating stuff. Gary proved my point from last argument live, which I appreciate. I think he told him to make a football point, right? I just forgot what point he made about football.
I think you and
Always the
Gary
next time.
are ultimate rivals, Nate. I feel like you'd crack the top four.
It's a healthy rivalry. But yeah, he said I do crack the top four for sure. I just thought it was ironic. Like he always says, life's about irony. Like the call after I challenged him to talk about football, not women. And you see the line, and then there we go. It's a full screen Gary about women. It happens every time. Shout out
Do you think Amanda wants him like Gary thinks?
I mean, I'm not going to get into that. If Gary thinks a random on the internet, zero interaction with wants to, by all means, Gary. I mean, it probably speaks more to Gary than Amanda.
What a beautiful day, Nate.
Go ahead, Department of Transportation. That was close. It is a gorgeous day. So, we're what, 48 hours and 28 minutes away from football? Counting down the hours and minutes of this.
But who's
I
counting?
don't know how much longer I could stall while you do your raffle entries.
No, you've given me plenty of time. Thank you.
Okay.
I love when Nate's very in tune with the inner workings of the show behind the scenes. I was, in fact, counting the remaining names. A couple super chats here, then we will spin the wheel of champions. Jets says Kamara never had 1,000 rushing yards. It's overrated. Yes, if obviously Brees has a year to what he did in 2023, for example. Spencer Green, Gary, we already read that one, so we're getting caught up. We read Yetis. Let's see. Abu Dhabi in the house. Respectfully, Your Honor, half of what he says is bullshit. I'm guessing is this about Beast or Gary? Could be either one. Dre Day in the raffle for one. Thank you, Dre Day. Colin Wolford has gifted another membership. Oh, yeah.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
And then a couple more here. AJF, Austrian Jet fan, not Australian, says, I'm surprised Beast hasn't been canceled yet. I guess that's fair. B-Shep says the Bears led the league in rushing in 2022 with Fields at QB. And the Jets are going to need to do something similar this year. Matt from L5 says, bring your Rodgers jerseys to L5. See you there. I have like 3 of them if you want to stop by my apartment before you go tailgate, Matt. They're burning the Rodgers jerseys Sunday. Bronx Jet fan is truly the last person to enter the raffle because the names are in. So I'm about to pull up the wheel of champions. But first, let's get people excited for this game Sunday, right? Let's try and get people ready to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, the latest Gator masterpiece, 31 AG 8C.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Yeah!
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, here we go, folks. A black Justin Fields jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine at the buzzer is going to get a last-second entry with his super chat. You're in, Nick Shine. You are in. All right. Let's give out a jersey. If you win, you have to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name, your size, and your address. And we'll send you a black Fields jersey. We'll get it ordered for you this week. Here we go. The Wheel of Champions is being spun right now. Colin Wolford. Congratulations, Colin. I don't know if you've won a raffle prize before. You might have. Either way, well-deserved. You've been around a long time, and you always support the show, so I truly appreciate that. Give it up for Kyle. Let's go. Give him the Jet chant. All right, awesome show. I want to thank everyone who tuned in. Thank you to Nick Faria for joining us in his weekly spot. We got the debut of Fireman Ed on the show this afternoon to hype us up for week 1. So I'm looking forward to that. Jets, Steelers, 2 days, man. 2 days. Basically 48 hours from like right now. Unreal. I will talk to you guys soon. That's in a few hours. If you haven't joined the Patreon yet ahead of the season, do so. It's the place to be. Bonus shows, Discord access, name in the intro, merch store discounts, access to private events before anyone. Can't wait for the season. Let's hope the Jets give us a fun season. JETS, Jets. Talk to you guys with Fireman Ed at 4 p.m. Eastern later today.
So when I was walking into the stadium, Jake, I think I told you I had to have my Stiggers jersey today that just got here that I showed you on the last call. And I see a white shirt that says Stiggers uncle. Next to him, I see Stiggers mom. Like all of Stiggers' family was there, and they're wearing all the shirts that say how they're related to him. I'm like, hey guys, I like your shirts. And I start breaking out my Stiggers jersey, which was in my bag. And the mom was like, no, you're not going to do it. I was like, I'm a big fan of your son. Like, I love the story. And she's like, you're going to make me cry. And like,
wow.
And the mom was there, and they both broke into tears.
Oh, that's so nice.
Another lady there saw the moment, was like, let me take a picture of you guys. We're right at the 50-yard line, like the entrance, took a picture of all of us. She's like, I need those pictures. Grabs my phone, texts Quantz from my phone the pictures, and text her the pictures from my phone. And then he responds, he's like, hey, like to her phone. I was like, this is a surreal moment. And it's his first game. Like it was surreal for them. But yeah, she was in tears walking in, and she was like, I told him I'd be there on Tuesday and I'll bring the jersey. I'm going to try to meet him at a training camp practice. But it was cool to have this, like, this who you said last call, like he might have a different jersey number, but it was like grandma had the jersey and I was one of the only people in the arena with a Quantz Stiggers jersey.
That is an amazing story. You got to be maybe the only Jet fan that actually owns a Quantz Stiggers jersey besides his family. Like, think about that.
I don't know any other 37s in Jets history, so I say
that's great.
Keep 37, get it in the rafters, Quantz. I'm a big fan.
Nate, Nate, what a call. Quantz Stiggers.
B-Mac, look at my new hat. B-Mac, I'm a Steelers fan now. Women hate my dude face. Now I'm such a fraud. I'd eat Rodgers' poop right from the source before he wipes.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.